Welcome to qualifying for the EuroNASCAR 2 on our return to the Raceway Venray. Last time we were here, it was a different decade. The NASCAR Cup Series cars had 4-speed gearboxes, and working from home was something of a novelty. How times have changed since 2019, but we are back in the Netherlands. We are back at the Raceway Venray. And we are counting down to the green flag in less than 10 minutes for EuroNASCAR 2 qualifying. This is going to be a very different weekend as opposed to our normal 2 races per day format. Saturday is dedicated to EuroNASCAR 2 and Sunday will be dedicated to EuroNASCAR Pro, each day featuring a feature race. This is the standard format, but that doesn't really tell you much about this particular weekend. We're going to have a 70-lap feature race today for EuroNASCAR 2 this afternoon, and then a 100-lap feature race for EuroNASCAR Pro on Sunday. Qualifying sessions on each day before that, and again, it's a qualifying session with a difference. What we're going to see here is 2 out laps, 2 warm-up laps for each driver. They'll go out one by one. They'll then have 2 flyers out on the circuit, and the fastest of those 2 flyers will be their qualifying time. The order in which the cars go out is based on the combined practice results. So the driver that was slowest in practice will be out first. The driver that was fastest in practice will be the last one to head out onto the oval. This is a half-mile circuit, 25 degrees at the sharpest end of the banking. It is progressive banking as well, which means that there are multiple racing lines, multiple avenues, multiple lines of attack for everyone to try and go for. This is a circuit that is rather unique. It's got an atmosphere all of its own. It's somewhere with a dedicated and loyal following, one of the hotbeds of oval racing in Europe. And one of the most loyal followers is none other than Andre Viegold. Andre, you're here with me in the commentary box. You're staying, I believe, just yards away this weekend. This place, you told me, it's basically a back garden. This place means a lot to you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Adam. I grew up at this racetrack. My father took me here in 1998 for the first time after a other oval closed in the Netherlands, and we choose the Raceway Venray to be our next oval we want to watch races at on a regular basis. So I have been here for almost 20 years right now, and in the early 2010s there was this short track created by Harry Maassen, the owner of the track. It was a small auto speedway oval in the first place, but later on he built this beautiful half-mile short track with a progressive banking up to 25 degrees. I just live an hour away in Germany, and yeah, I've been to so many races here. I think I can count on 2 hands how many events I missed since I joined this racetrack in the past when I was a child, when I was 8 years old. And now I'm here, 34 years old, and commentating a EuroNASCAR race on an oval. The second time in my life, by the way, for EuroNASCAR. In 2019 I was already here. working for the media team. So it's a nice comeback at a racetrack I love really much, and I think it's one of the most impressive tracks we have in Europe regarding ovals.
Definitely the case. Of course, there are some sleeping giants of a grander scale from the, really from the 90s kart boom. We didn't get to build or open tracks until the 2000s, by which time it was a bit too late. Rockingham and Lausitz. Of the active ovals, this is certainly one of the grander examples, probably the grandest example. As you said, half a mile. Shares a little bit of a flavour, I would say, with somewhere like Bristol. It's going to be a compelling run. This is the 5th time that we've had EuroNASCAR racing here at Venray. We first appeared here all the way back in 2015, 3 consecutive years from there, then a further appearance in 2019. But it's been a little while, and it's really good to be back on the ovals. Of course, previously EuroNASCAR has also run on the Tours Speedway, the now defunct Tours Speedway in France. There aren't that many opportunities to go oval racing across Europe, and it's great that we have an oval back on the calendar. Countdown to green in less than 4 minutes then. We're going to go one by one, and it's going to be Ariana Casoli out first. It's a very, very tight order for the most part, as you would expect from the oval. The fastest time of the combined practices in EuroNASCAR 2 was a 19.922 from Jill Linster, and you have to go all the way back to the outer remit, to the top 15 to go more than a second behind his pace. And it's going to be very intriguing to see who really picks up the baton here. We've got some drivers, of course, with experience of oval racing. Ryan Vargas is double dipping this weekend as we get a look at the point standings. Martin Dubeck and Jill Linster making it a 1-2 right now in the championship for Hendricks Motorsport. Tefel, Schauber and Grassonis bringing us down to 5th position. Julian Reberg leading the rookie trophy. Mikael Blekemolen leading the Legends, and Ariana Casoli leading in Lady Trophy. But of course there are names we'd expect to be good here. Ryan Vargas is chief among them. He's competing in both championships courtesy of his existing partner Critical Path Security. He's also picked up some new sponsorship from Leargas Security as well to go racing across both days this weekend. You've got Jill Linster, of course, the pace setter in practice, who took the high banks of Daytona just a few months ago in the ARCA series, and a few drivers as well who have raced here previously with us in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. The time to beat for everybody, if you want to look at it as a competition across the years, is that of Jacques Villeneuve. Again, I said about how much has changed since 2019. Jacques Villeneuve is still the lap record holder here in EuroNASCAR terms. 19.5 is the benchmark, so we're a little bit off that as of right now, at least in EuroNASCAR 2. But we'll keep our beady eyes on that and see whether we get down there. Of course, the cars have been tweaked somewhat since then. We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds until the countdown to green is completed. Andre, what are you expecting to happen here in this quali?
Oh, this is going to be a phenomenal format. We have the old school NASCAR format, and it's going to be very exciting because I saw a lot of people with oval racing experience with good lap times, but also some of the guys without any experience on ovals, very fast. For example, Patrick Schauber, who was really good in practice, especially in the Discovery Oval practice session in the morning. So there are some drivers without any EuroNASCAR Oval experience who are fast at the first meters. And by the way, a funny story, I think I have more laps under my belt at this track than some of the EuroNASCAR drivers, because in my life I got the opportunity to drive a late model here for 50 to 100 laps. I don't know, it was something in between. So I drove a 21-second lap. These guys are hitting the 19 seconds marker again, so it's going to be a tough thing. And with just 2 flying laps, you cannot afford any mistake. If you do a mistake in the first flying lap, it will hurt your second one as well. So you have to be perfect. You have to nail it. You have to get everything out of the car, out of yourself, or you're down the order. And on an oval, it's going to be very crucial to have a decent track position at the beginning of the race, because it's quite tough to overtake here. We have a multi-groove track, 2 lines are really good, but in the end, to overtake, it's not going to be an easy task. So I expect a very exciting qualifying session with just one car by car on track, but still the 10th of a second, maybe even a 1,000th of a second, may be the game changer here. So it's going to be very, very tight.
It's going to be fine margins, absolutely right. The lap record here in qualifying conditions in EuroNASCAR 2 is a 19.503 from Sainz Longin. The race lap record is Jacques Villeneuve's a 19.559. The first car out there on circuit is not Ariana Casoli, who we were strictly expecting to be out first. It's Dominic Schack, who looks to be the first one out there. So this will be the first of his 2 warm-up laps, trying to get some temperature into the brakes, into the tyres before he starts building the speed. In terms of brake usage around this circuit, are they making active use of the brakes, do you think?
Yes, they do. You have to brake a little bit before the curves, because you have around 200 kph on the straights, and you have to slow the car down to 160, 170 in the bank corner. And the ideal line is the outside lane. So you have to stay here a little bit above the stripes to make a strong lap. So let's see what Dominic is doing here right now. He's still warming up. And if he wants to go to the ideal line, he has to stay way more above. And I think right now he's trying to do exactly that. So the upper lane, the outside lane is the one to go if you want to have a decent lap time.
Now, by my reckoning, this should be his first flying lap, or is this his second warm-up? I believe we're now going into the flyers. So Dominic Schack is going to be the first driver to lay some benchmark times down for everybody else. There's going to be a lot of very curious eyes watching along here as he heads out into the qualifying session. His first flying lap will come onto the board in just a few moments. And let's see what the early benchmark is. White flag out for Dominic Schack. 23.005 is his first flying lap. In fact, no, 21.653 now, so my timing screen a little bit behind. 21.653 is not a bad time. It's a little bit of an improvement on what he had in practice. Let's see what happens this time across the line. Does he improve on his second run around the half mile? Yes, he does. No, 22.122, so not an improvement, actually. A 21.653 was his best. And that is the benchmark for everybody else. It's a benchmark that shouldn't be too difficult to clear for some of our more experienced drivers. But of course, the X factor of, as you said, the slightest error going against you could mean that a time that theoretically would be good enough for 18th, 17th place could even get you 12th or 13th, depending on how people manage this. The 2 warm-up laps begin now then for Federico Monti in the number 1 car, the Alex Caffey Academy Motorsport entry. I think it's fair to say that aside from a couple of promising appearances from Claudio Remeggio Capelli, Alex Caffey Academy Motorsport haven't quite been the same force that we saw in 2023.
Yeah, definitely. Vladimir Sots has had a lot of bad luck this year. I think the pace is there. The team is doing an amazing job, but they were really unlucky. Bad time, bad place, wrong time, wrong place all the times in the first 3 events of the year. So I think they have the pace. They know how to make a fast race car, to build a fast race car. And now Federico Monti back at the wheel in EuroNASCAR 2 by himself. He's the owner of Academy Motorsport. And let's see what he's doing, because normally he's focusing on his Club Challenge campaign. But on the oval race, for the oval race, he's back behind the wheel in competitive racing. And now we're going to get the green flag, and he's on his first flyer.
So let's see how Monti performs. Smooth is often fast on an oval, so let's see how he stacks up on this first lap compared to the benchmark of 21.653 set by Dominic Schack. First lap will come across the line now. Doesn't look to me quite to be at the same velocity as Shaq's first lap, but we'll wait and see what the timing screen has to say. It was indeed a few tenths off, a 22.076, but here comes his second attempt at a flyer now. The number 1 car through 3 and 4 for the second time. Can he get into the 21s on that second flyer? It certainly looked a bit quicker through the rear end of the circuit, and it's a 21.155, so he almost used that first flyer as a third warm-up lap, which is a showing of immense confidence to have the feel that you can actually nail that one last flyer. But it pays off for Federico Monti. He's actually achingly close to the 20s, which is where you need to be. Not a bad showing at all from Federico.
Yeah, it was really good, and you always have to remember Federico Monti is more like a man like Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman. He has a little bit more, let's say, size. Yeah, he's a big guy, but so passionate for NASCAR racing. And the next one on track is now Ariana Castelloe, I see.
So a slight difference from the published order that we were expecting them in. I believe Ariana still has another warm-up lap left to go here. The Speedhouse entry, the number 14, of course, Speedhouse, the team run by Luca Lasserre, will be racing in EuroNASCAR Pro. Lasserre, who has plenty of experience of running this circuit in EuroNASCAR machinery, he will know how to set these cars up for this circuit. Ariana breaks the beam now, green flag waving, so Ariana Castelloe is underway on her first flying lap. Her benchmark from free practice is a 21.961. That was her best effort during the practice session, so let's see if she can best her efforts from this morning. First flying lap will register momentarily on my timing screen. It's a 22.077. So a little bit off her best, but still a solid first lap. Let's see if she can find a little bit more on lap number 2, getting pretty high up the banking, not quite hugging the wall as Ryan Vargas said he was going to today. Across the line goes Ariana Castelloe for the second time, and it's a 22.040, which places her third for the time being. But we'll see where she ends up ultimately. Castelloe taking on the challenge of oval racing. She's been a racer for a very long time. I'm not sure how much of that, if any of that, has taken place on an oval, but we'll see where she stacks up by the end of the session.
She really loves ovals, I know that. She was really looking forward to this event, and I think her ideal line was really good. She had a really good line, but I think she missed a little bit the corner speed. She lacked the corner speed to have a decent lap time, but still she's improving, and now her teammate is on track, the 33, and this is Florian Richard. He was a first-timer at Brands Hatch. Now it's the first time for the French guy on an oval. I'm really curious what he's going to do. He looked quite fast in free practice. He found a good line, and I think he was quite brave on board of his Ford Mustang. So Florian Richard, one of the contenders for the Rookie Trophy, he's tied in points with Julian Rehberg. He might be one of those surprises we see here today. Let's see what he's doing in qualifying. First flying lap coming in right now.
So then first lap begins for him, and Florian Richard, one of the front runners at times so far this season among the Rookie Trophy runners in EuroNASCAR 2. The 20 barrier, he broke it. He got into the 20s during free practice. A 20.8 is his best. The 33 car crosses the line for the first time, and it is already a 20.800 for the number 33 of Florian Richard. Comes around 3 and 4 for the second flying lap. Can he get himself a couple of extra tenths on his second attempt? Across the line he goes once again, and the time is a 20.713. So that is a very good effort from Florian Richard. He bests what he showed us in free practice by the better part of 2 tenths actually, and lays down what will be a solid benchmark for some of the drivers that are going to come in the next 2 or 3 runs. I think he can be happy with that one. Let's see what Simone Giussani can do then. He, of course, comes from the world of Legends Racing. He's well into his American-style motorsport. I would think an oval is right up his alley.
Yes, Giussani had some issues in free practice. I think the car is not at 100%. You remember that we had massive crashes with Double V Racing at Brands Hatch. They were involved in several crashes, so they had to rebuild the car. And Giussani, it's the first time for him on an oval, so it's a completely new challenge for him. I tried to talk with him, but he refused. He said, I'm totally done right now. I'm exhausted after practice. Come to me later, talk to me later. So I have no clue how he's feeling because he refused to talk to me earlier this day. But he was one of the slowest guys. So let's see if he has something in this qualifying session, because I think he's eager to improve.
Well, the timing system just told me he did a 20.873 on one of his warm-up laps. And if that's the case, that's a very good sign. Let's see what his first flyer looks like as he comes out of turn 4 for the first time under race or under qualifying conditions. His first lap is good enough for third, a 21.298. He's got to find half a second if he wants to beat the benchmark from Florian Richard. That seems unlikely, but let's see what the second flyer looks like. Carries good speed through 3 and 4. A little bit of extra room possibly there on the exit of T4 though. The time is a 21.298, stays the best. The 21.333 was his second flyer, so he didn't improve from the 21.298 he set on his first flying lap. Not quite daring to go to the edge of the circuit at any point there, especially on corner exit. I have to imagine there's a couple of kilometers an hour that he's missing as a result of doing that. But frankly, with a long race to come later on, there is certainly an argument to be made for just keeping the thing pointing the right way. Yeah.
The next one, Tomasz Dąbrowski, also an oval racing rookie. It's the first time for him just mastering 4 turns, and it's quite difficult. A lot of drivers, good drivers on oval, told me this is the most challenging thing I've experienced in my career. They all know road courses, they already faced so many challenges, but oval racing, it seems so easy, but it's really, really tough to find the speed, to find the 10th. And a lot of people, including Dąbrowski, told me already, this is the toughest thing I've ever experienced, and we see it in the lap times. It's really hard to go to the limit because you have to be brave. You have to ride the car next to the wall. Here, he's too low. He's quite too low to get the most out of his car. In qualifying, it's better to stay exactly there. You can cross a little bit those white stripes, but you have to stay on the outside lane.
Let's see what kind of time he registers then on the first flying lap. It is a 20.506 on the first flyer. That is a very good first lap actually. And the second lap he seems to have backed out of that to me at 3 and 4. Very shallow entry, very slow going into the corner. Almost thought for a moment that something had broken on the car. Definitely not the fastest of second flyers. But Dąbrowski actually put him a pretty quick time there, and I just wonder if he'd committed slightly more to 1 and 2 on that lap, he could have been a good couple of tenths faster.
Yeah, it would surprise me that this lap was so good, so maybe he proved me wrong. Maybe the inside line is also working really well with those cars. The history shows something different. And now, Adam, you have to be very happy right now. Jack Davidson, the first British racing driver to win a EuroNASCAR race in front of his home crowd last time in Brands Hatch. Jack Davidson!
At the risk of getting myself in trouble, I don't want England to win the European Football Championships because I think we're bad winners. So the patriotism streak doesn't actually exist too strongly in me. But it was good, very good to see Jack Davidson make history as the first British winner in EuroNASCAR history. He's now facing a completely different challenge from anything he's experienced in his racing career before, as the Pink Peril launches around the Venray Oval. I'm very intrigued to see how Jack performs here within the first 10 of this session, of course, based on the practice times in reverse. So he's got some work to do if he wants to start in the first few rows this time. Let's see how he does then. This will be the first lap that counts after his 2 warm-ups. Looks like he's closer to the wall than some of those that have come before him on the straights, and while that doesn't count for that much, it is a good sign that he's committed and also stays high through 3 and 4. That to me looks like the most committed lap we've seen from anybody so far. Is it the fastest lap? Yes, a 20.347. So Davidson already sets a new benchmark. Let's see what the Lux Motorsport driver can do now. The 21 out of turn 4. It's not the Wood brothers when it's pink. Across the line comes Jack Davidson. What's the time? It might well be a better time once again. It is a 20.287. That is a very good benchmark set by Jack Davidson, and moreover, it's over 4/10 quicker than he went in free practice. So he has found a lot under qualifying conditions.
Wow, amazing. Jack Davidson with a really, really good line. He was committed to the wall. That's also very important. And I find it very interesting. Jack Davidson told me he never raced on ovals. You have so many ovals in the UK with Briscoe F1, Briscoe F2, National Hot Rods, and all the other classes. By the way, on the small oval, we will have them in the support program here today and also tomorrow. So there will be also action on the short oval with the Briscoe and National Hot Rods. But he never raced on an oval in the UK, and that's quite rare because a lot of drivers from the UK at least did the mini stocks.
Yes and no. It's weirdly segregated, actually, the ovals from the circuit racing community. But yeah, a lot of drivers, the likes of Nick Tandy, got their first steps on the ovals of the UK.
Yes.
And quite a few of the BTCC drivers did so as well. So yes, it is certainly a strong pipeline between the ovals and circuit racing, but it's still a unique story. It's not one that's commonly told among the British racing fraternity, but it does happen every once in a while. The 77 car, Julian Reberg, will now go on to, I believe, his first flying lap there. I think he got showed the green that time. Reberg in the 77, then the second of the promotion cars. We've already seen the 99 of Dominic Schack out there. Reberg has been so impressive this year in the rookie class, Andre, and let's see how he performs. The first flying lap is in. Let's see what it is. My timing screen eventually tells me it's a 20.951. Can he improve on lap number 2?
Yeah, he's not that committed like Jack Davidson. You see that he's a little bit scared of the wall, I think. He also told me that this is the toughest race or the toughest challenge he ever faced in his racing career. He was trying, he thought it's going to be easy. 2 braking points, 2 turns. It cannot be that tough, but he said it's one of the most challenging things he's ever done in his life. And you see that he's still a little bit trying to find the secure way, the safe way, and this is why he's not that fast, and I think he ended up with a 20.864.
Yeah, that was the ultimate time from him. A 20.864 puts him 4th fastest. So then, next up, it's the number 69. It's Melvin de Groot in the Team Blake Molen machine. Of course, we've got a couple of Dutch teams. We've got quite a few Dutch faces in the paddock. This man is one of them. Melvin in front of his home crowd. One of the faster drivers in the Legend Trophy. Always an overall top 5, if not an overall podium contender in EuroNASCAR 2. How do you think his chances fare on the oval?
He already practiced here in the V8 Oval Series, so he already raced here in an late model car, and therefore he has some experience, and he did a really good job, and he has a very interesting strategy in warming up the car. He was really aggressive on getting the heat into the tires, and also it's very important to heat up the brakes. So this is a new strategy, and I'm really curious to see if it works out or not. But Melvin, he knows the track, he knows what it takes to be fast here, so this could be a surprise here as well, and you know that he's fast on road courses, so yeah, he's an overall driver, Legend Trophy driver, but he can also compete for the top 3, and I think oval racing is something he really likes, so I think he's going to be fast.
car's looking very loose in the mid between 1 and 2, and indeed 3 and 4 as well. The car not really complying at the rear. First flying lap coming in now, and it is a 20.650. One more flyer left for Melvin de Groot then. He's currently third fastest. He's gone ahead of Florian Richard into the top 3. Can he get lower? Can he go below a 20.5? The checkered flag waves for Melvin, and the time is a 20.633 for Melvin de Groot. So a minimal improvement on his second lap, but enough to go third. I think he'll be fairly happy with that, and puts him in good stead going into the race. I imagine that in the case of some of these new drivers, some of them will be crossing their fingers almost, hoping for the inside line when we go 2 by 2 for the rolling starts, and some of them do seem a little scared of the high line and going close to the wall. I imagine some of them want that inside going into quali.
I have a very nice story here. You see the 72 car on track, but I have a really nice story there. Back in 2016, must be, I think 2016, one of my colleagues from German TV, who's commentating the NASCAR Cup Series there, he told one of the drivers, Philip Leeds, back then to stay on the outside on the restarts, to stay on the outside every time. Do not go to the inside and you will win the race. And he did it. So the outside lane is the one where you can really earn your money. So I would, and we have the choose rule in the race, if I would have to choose in a starting position after a safety car procedure, I would go to the outside.
Interesting. I wonder how many people have picked up that nugget, and whether somebody from like 7th is going to end up picking the inside so they start on the front row. We'll have to wait and see. Mikael Bleekemolen on the circuit then in the number 72. Very few things he hasn't seen and or done in his career in motor racing. Let's see how he plies his trade then on the oval. Immediately third fastest at 20.599. A bit shallow overall though, a little bit under that higher of the 2 white lines. It seems to be working for him for the most part, however. Let's see what the second flying lap is. Does it go any quicker? Yes, a 20.322 from Mikael Bleekemolen. So he really made that lower line work for him. Very impressive from the ex-Grand Prix driver, the eldest driver on the grid, showing some of the youngsters a thing or two.
74 years old, and he has still what it takes to be fast on an oval. A totally new ground for him, and this is just impressive. Mikael Bleekemolen, unbelievable. And this is now going to be interesting. Nick Strickler from the US. I saw him racing Legends cars there, but I know he has also a rally background, so he's not the typical US NASCAR racer like Ryan Vargas. So let's see what the US American does, because short tracks should be exactly what he knows, but he has not the typical American racing background. So let's see.
There we go. Let's see what he can do then. Strickler with some, quote, circle racing background, but maybe not as much as some others. Let's have a look at his times then. The 48 car. 48, of course, one of the most successful numbers in NASCAR history. It would be rather apropos if it was towards the front, surely, in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, but let's wait and see what kind of time gets put on the board. This is the first flying lap then from the Marco Stipp Motorsport entry. Nick Strickler out of T4 again, going fairly low compared to the likes of Jack Davidson. First lap time on the board, and it is as I wait for the timing screen, a 5th place, 20.652. So he's really got to try and get under a 20.5 on this second flyer. He again is going very low, lower even than Bleekemolen, I think carrying less speed than Bleekemolen critically through the mid-corner. And the lap time is a 20 point, well, it's not an improvement, a 20.936. So indeed the second lap was slower than the first. Just not enough corner speed there to make the inside line work.
But still he's in front of Florian Richard and Julian Rehberg, the 2 rookies. So Nick Strickler has a decent lap time at 26.52, is not that bad. And the next one, this is also a nice transition from pocket bike racing to auto racing. making a lot of improvements in 2024, Thomas Toffel, and now a new challenge, oval racing. So let's see if we can make the final step to be a overall NASCAR driver.
So I was talking on a podcast a few days ago, Double Duty podcast, about who I thought would do well here in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series on the oval, and I actually kind of picked this man, Thomas Toffel, as my wild card pick. Bike racing prepares you for a world of momentum-based racing and caring about the corner speed and not letting a kilometre an hour slip at the apex. Can Toffel translate that knowledge, that deft, deft wrist rather than deft foot in the world of bike racing, into fast oval laps? Let's have a look. He powers out of turn 2 now, the number 34 of Thomas Toffel for Race Art Technology. Heads through 3 and 4. He's got the higher line there on corner entry. Dips low coming out of the corner, relatively low anyway, but that looked like a very committed approach to turns 3 and 4. He goes fourth fastest at 20.526. He's got to find about a quarter of a second to go top where Jack Davidson sits on a 20.287. That's very committed. Fully sideways, very loose. Going into turn 3, he did very well to hold that, quite frankly. Let's see if it's led to a quicker lap time. I have my doubts. The time is indeed only not an improvement at all. A 20.526 remains his fastest time. That last lap was a 20.907. Heart firmly in mouth as he went into turn 3.
Oh yeah, this was close. This was a close call for sure, and he already got the Venray stripes, let's call him like this, because in free practice he already, let's say, touched the wall a little bit. And now there's a guy coming I would put my money on. Thomas Cazones. He already raced at New Smyrna. It's the same size, but the track at New Smyrna in Florida has a totally different view. If you go to the inside, here you have to stay on the outside. But Thomas Cazones also practiced here earlier this year in another series, so he has the advantage of the experience on ovals and also here at Raceway Venray, and he has a lot of momentum from the past events. He scored his first top 3 result back in Brands Hatch, scored his first pole position, and therefore he carries a lot of momentum. So Thomas Cazones, he may be one of those dark horses in EuroNASCAR 2 for sure. And one very important thing, Marco Stipp raced here at Raceway Venray himself, so he knows exactly how to set up a car.
Aha, that is very useful for his drivers then. Cazones has been someone we've known has had potential for a very long time, and there's a difference between knowing you've got potential and finally proving it to yourself, and I think that's what he did at Brands Hatch. Between the podium, between the pole position. Granted, the race didn't go as he would have liked in race 2 at Brands, but it's something to finally get that monkey off your back, to know you can get podiums. Here comes his first flying lap then. He's again tracking a little bit lower than the likes of Toffel. It was 20.294 though, the first flying lap. It looked smooth, but it was fast. Just 7 thousandths off of Jack Davidson. Can he find those minuscule iotas of time on the second flying lap? It will literally be less than a blink of an eye in it. Across the line he comes for the second lap, and it is a 20.294 that remains his quickest time. His second lap was a 20.350, so he didn't quite find the pace on his second flying lap, but Cazones puts himself onto the provisional front row and shows again that the inside can be fairly quick.
And that's really interesting. So these EuroNASCAR cars really go the multi-groove we have here at Raceway Venray. Normally the outside line is a little bit quicker, but those cars can be set up to also use the inside lane. And this is really something I'm looking forward to in the race, because if we have different strategies setup-wise, we're going to see a very interesting race with some overtaking maneuvers, because a lot of drivers say it's hard to overtake, it's tough to overtake, but if we have different setup strategies and cars working on a different part of the track, then we're going to have battles, and I'm really looking forward to this.
This man's national anthem is Sweet Home Italia. He is an Italian with American energy pumping through his veins. Claudio Remeggio Capelli He will love the opportunity to go oval racing. Another one with a lot of Legends experience in his back pocket as well, of course. Claudio, always a front runner in EuroNASCAR 2, and look at that commitment. He goes very high through 3 and 4 compared to the last couple of runs we've seen. A little bit close to the wall on corner exit as well. White flag is waved, and immediately he goes fastest to 20.025 from Claudio Remigio Capelli. He's already laid down the gauntlet, and let's see if he can go into the 19s with his second flying lap. Powers out of 4. Keep your eyes on the clock. Can he go into the 19s? He will be on pole provisionally regardless. It's a 19.904. Gauntlet laid by Claudio Remigio Capelli. He is the 14th driver to come out in the session. We've got the fastest half dozen left to go. His best time was a 20.280 in free practice, and he's really lowered his own benchmark in quali.
Wow, the master of ovals is pulling his strings. A little Metallica reference there for Remigio Capelli. It was really, really good. Claudio did an amazing job. He was committed. He had the confidence to carry the speed into the corners. And now the next one, Patrick Schober. He was really fast in free practice. He did something. He went Briska F2 racing in Austria before this event to get a little bit used to an oval. It was a dirt track. It was a flat track. Now we have asphalt. We have banking. But he was still really, really fast in free practice without any experience in a EuroNASCAR car on an oval. So this may be one of those surprises of those oval rookie drivers who may have a say in the race later on when it's about to win.
Right, well, let's see then the first half dozen, the Speedy 6 of practice, now coming in for their qualifying runs. Patrick Schober immediately committing high on corner entry, tries to get a little bit of kind of a squaring effect coming out of turn 2. They're dipping low on corner exit, which I think is probably a valid strategy. Through the turn 4 now. Let's see if he can go under the 20s on his first flying lap. That would be a real statement of intent. He does not. A 20.553. That's a bit of an underperformance, and turns 1 and 2 didn't look particularly quick from Patrick Schober there either, to my eye at least. Out of turn 4 he comes again, dipping low on corner exit. Schober for RDV competition across the line. He's 7th fastest on the screens right now. He goes 2nd fastest with his final flying lap, a 20.260. I thought that approach to turn 1 and 2 on the second flyer wasn't that quick, but what do I know? He goes 2nd fastest alongside Claudio Remigio Capelli provisionally then, leapfrogging ahead of Jack Davidson, who's demoted to 3rd place. And of course we're at the stage now where he's guaranteed a top 10 starting position.
Yeah, it was a good lap. I think in the first one he managed a little bit the risk to have a decent lap time, and then he attacked a little bit more. Now we have Victor Neumann, another Marco Stipp Motorsport driver on track. He also practiced here in another series earlier this year. So the young and small Frenchman, and I can say it, I'm really, really small, but he's even a little bit smaller than me. But that's good for a racing driver. He's not carrying a lot of weight. So he's also having a lot of experience on ovals already due to his commitment earlier this year here at Raceway Venray. Let's see if it pays off.
Le jockey, I perhaps want to say, if he's a man of diminutive stature. The AIX-backed Marco Stipp Motorsport car in the hands of Victor Neumann. Very much a new challenge, EuroNASCAR racing for him. When I was keeping up with his earlier stages of racing, he was driving a lightweight sports car in the UK. This is a very different beast. And let's see what his first flying lap looks like. As you said, he knows what he's doing. He's got some experience around here. Across the line to complete his first flying lap, and it is immediately good enough for 2nd place. A 20.232 for the Marco Stipp Motorsport driver. He'd have to find 3/10 on his second flyer to get near Claudio Remigio Capelli. But that was a very good run to my eye through 3 and 4. The checkered flag waves on Neumann's second lap, and it's a 20.125, the second lap, which is not good enough to beat Capelli. It is good enough to improve and solidify his hold on provisional 2nd place. Next up then, out onto the circuit, will be Ryan Vargas, arguably the most experienced driver on the ovals. I don't think it's much of an argument that he's the most experienced driver on this grid on the ovals. But some of our European regulars, some of our road course ringers, if you will, really showing that Ryan and the likes of Jill Linster as well aren't going to have it easy.
No, we have to go back to 2012 to find an American racing driver to win on an oval in the European NASCAR Series. It was Ben Kennedy at Tour Speedway. Later on, we had Bobby Labonte, a Cup Series champion, not winning at Tours. Myatt Snyder, 2019, he had Raceway Venray. He was second in the end. So it's not a given that a American NASCAR driver, Cup Series, Xfinity Series or Truck Series, is definitely the top driver. No, we see that a lot of European drivers can keep up with them, especially here on this European oval. Of course, all eyes are on Ryan Vargas. He has a lot of pressure here. He has the experience from the Xfinity, from the Truck Series, and he's now going onto his first flyer. But it's not a given that he's going to be the fastest, for sure.
Carried some good speed though through turn one on his first flying lap. He also had a very committed second warm-up lap compared to what we've seen from some of the others, right up against the wall as well on corner exit from turn 4. Let's see what Ryan Vargas's first flying lap yields. It is a 20.051. That's a solid, very solid first lap. That puts him second fastest. Can he break into the 19s though? That is the big question. Very committed again coming out of turn 4. Is it enough to improve? Will he go sub 20 seconds? Ryan Vargas sets a 19.997. He's not quite there. Within a tenth of Claudio Remeggio Capelli, but not quite enough. He does, however, put himself in a strong position. He should be top 5. For now, he's provisional front row. And the critical path security Camaro, the 3F Racing car, showing off nicely there. Next up, a familiar name in the world of EuroNASCAR, Miguel Gomez, making another return to the series after a bit of an absence in more recent times. Gomez in the 88, the Cal Racing team, of course, a front runner in EuroNASCAR, and Gomez looks like he's going to be one to watch this weekend based on what we've seen in practice.
Yes, first of all, I want to say I hope you have a good recovery, Roberto Benedetti, after his crash at Brands Hatch. So he's sidelined at the moment. And Miguel Gomez, he has a lot of laps on ovals, but in the virtual world. He's a pure sim racer in the world of ovals on iRacing. So he did a lot of laps. He also practiced at Daytona in real life. He has EuroNASCAR experience, and he was really, really fast in free practice. So this guy knows exactly what to do on an oval. So he may be also one of those guys surprising us here at this weekend today in EuroNASCAR too, because he knows exactly what it takes to be fast on an oval. And let's see what his first flying lap tells us about his pace. Cal Racing has also a lot of experience on setting up a car for an oval, so it may be the perfect match.
First lap time comes in, it's a 20.529, which is good enough for 10th position. Second flying lap coming in now. Doesn't look quite as smooth as the last couple of flying laps, not quite as committed to the high line either. Had a little bit of a wider run through turn 3 on the second flying lap. I think this might be an improvement, but how far of an improvement will it be? Gomez across the line for the second time, and it registers now for 9th place, a 20.511. So a fractional improvement puts him 9th, just ahead of Thomas Tuffel. And now we clear the stage for our championship leader and for Hendricks Motorsport, Martin Dubek and Jill Linster, the two parties left to set a time. Martin Dubek then, the Czech racer, the driver who has had arguably the best season opener that we've seen in EuroNASCAR 2 for many years. How's he fancying his chances?
Yes, this is going to be interesting. I have two interesting stories here. First of all, Martin Dubek made his EuroNASCAR debut on an oval here at Raceway Venray back in 2015, I think. And also Roy and Jupp Hendricks, the masterminds behind Hendricks Motorsport. They grew up here at Raceway Venray. I saw them racing on the small oval when they were teenagers, so I know Roy and Jupp for a long, long time. and they have their base here. The team is based here close to Venray in Maastricht, and they come from Oval Racing. They did the V8 Oval Series. They did different stocker classes. They raced here by themselves, so they know exactly what they need to do with the car to make it fast. And we saw already in free practice that Hendrix Motorsport again did a great job. So let's see what Martin Dubeck is capable of doing in his 7th car. The championship leader, where's the time?
Immediately fastest. Immediately. A 19.854 on his first flying lap. He goes top, so he's beaten Claudio Remeggio Capelli already. There will be at least one Hendrix Motorsport car on the front row. Will Dubeck cement his time on top with a faster lap? Yes, a 19.689. That is very good. That's the fastest lap we've seen out of a EuroNASCAR 2 car so far this weekend. Dubeck found over 3/10 on his best time from practice. That is very impressive, and that is a gauntlet laid down for this man, Gil Linster.
Last time he was out on an oval, he finished 7th at Daytona in the ARCA race. Now he's back to short track racing. He did a lot of short track races back in the US in the past couple of years, so he has the experience as well. He was at New Smyrna for the World Series of Asphalt Racing. He did already EuroNASCAR race it here at Raceway Venray, I think back in 2017 the last time. He was not here in 2019. So Gil Linster, one of the favorites here for sure in EuroNASCAR 2, but beating a 19.689, it's going to be really, really tough for him.
Yes, that is meaning he needs to find quarter of a second from what he did in free practice, and that is a bit of an ask. He goes lower than Dubeck through 1 and 2. Let's see if it pays dividends then. This is our final driver to set a time in qualifying, the fastest ever qualifying lap in EuroNASCAR 2 here at Venray was in the 19.5s. That would be a huge ask to beat the 19.503 that has stood for 8 years here. Let's see what Linster can do. His first flying lap was a 19.953, so he's got a lot of time to find on his second flying lap. He comes across the line now to take the checkered flag. He's currently 3rd on the grid, and in 3rd he will remain. A 19.925 was the best that Gil Linster could offer. He will start from row number 2, directly behind his teammate Martin Dubeck. The championship leader is going to be our pole sitter then, but still a big surprise.
Yeah, for sure. I have to head down right now to grab a word with Martin Dubeck, our pole sitter, and later on we have a little show coming up between qualifying and the EuroNASCAR 2 race. So we will see each other in a minute, but I will head down right now.
Excellent stuff, Andre. Thank you for this. Yeah, we are going to stay live throughout the day here, bringing you the action from Venray, both racing and indeed trackside reaction to the qualifying session before we go racing. And hopefully we will have a very exciting race to follow. That grid sets us up very nicely. It's Martin Dubeck who has set the pace, a 19.689, one of only 4 drivers to go sub 20 seconds. Moreover, the only driver within 2/10 of his own time. So Dubeck over 2/10 clear of Claudio Remeggio Capelli. Gil Linster 3rd fastest in the number 50 car. So Hendrix 1-3 with Claudio Remeggio Capelli for Alex Caffey Academy 2nd. Ryan Vargas 4th fastest in the critical path security Leargas security backed machine. The 3F Racing Chevy Camaro 4th fastest. Victor Neumann in his AIX-backed Marco Stipp Motorsport car, the first of the 3 Marco Stipp machines, goes 5th fastest ahead of RDV Competitions' Patrick Schauber in P6. P7, Jack Davidson in the Lux Motorsport car. Thomas Grassonis 8th fastest in the 46 Marco Stipp entry. Mikael Bleekemolen racing for the eponymous Bleekemolen team, of course. Thomas Dombrowski also from that stable, making it an all Team Bleekemolen row number 5. Miguel Gomez, the 88, 11th fastest. Thomas Tuffel, 12th fastest, Melvin de Groot 13th fastest, and Nick Strickler 14th fastest. Those are all of the drivers within a second of Martin Dubek's time. Florian Richard in 15th in the 33, Julian Reberg 16th in the 77. Then it's Federico Monti, Simone Giussani, Dominic Schack, and Ariana Casoli, bringing us our 10 rows, our 20 cars that will take part in the feature race a little bit later on. I'm very much enjoying this format. That was a very, very fun qualifying session. And of course, with just one race for each category, it feels like there's a lot more on the line going into racing later on. This is going to be a hugely compelling race today. And the oval, a great unknown for some, a somewhat known for others, and an old familiar friend for a select few. But it's Martin Dubek that has really laid down the gauntlet here today with that lap time, a 19.689. Very, very impressive indeed that he was quite so much faster than he was within the free practice sessions. His best time in free practice was a 19.981. Jill Linster's fastest time in practice was a 19.922. Dubek, I don't know about maximised, but he certainly aced his lap. There'd maybe be a tenth or two to find in perfect world conditions, but Dubek had a fabulous lap nonetheless. That Hendricks family knowledge, I think, coming up trumps here today. We will hear from Martin Dubek in a little while, and of course we will hear from Andre with him. Andre will then be bringing you some fabulous action or some fabulous insights from the paddock before we go racing a little bit later on. It's a very compact schedule today as we take a look at the team's championship structure. The EuroNASCAR Pro and EuroNASCAR 2 Drivers' Championships, of course, are separate. The same car used in both categories more often than not, but the standings are separate. But they are combined for the Endurance Teams Championship, which throws together the, in a standard 4-race weekend, it throws together the standings and gives us effectively a long 250-kilometer endurance race. As you can see, the international scope of NASCAR is only growing. The Canada Series, of course, the American National Championships, as well as ARCA and other affiliated NASCAR properties, NASCAR Mexico, NASCAR Brazil, and then the only truly international series, the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, of course, across the Atlantic. Oval racing over the years has also made pilgrimages over to South Africa, the Pekisa Oval, for example. And we'll see how much further the international expansion will go. Previously, there were exhibition races, of course, in Japan and in Australia. In the Netherlands, though, Claudio Remeggio Capelli was strong, second fastest, and he's with you, Andre.
Thank you so much. I was telling in the broadcast, the master of Oval is pulling the strings. It was a really decent lap, right?
Yeah, very hard, very hard, as if I have to say. Dubek is very fast. I knew it. When I arrived here yesterday, we joke and I call him the grandfather of the circuit because it's from 2014 that he ran in the Oval. For me, it's the first time, but it's nice. It's cool, very nice.
How about the challenge? How tough is it to turn a car around just 4 corners?
Yeah, the first laps I did yesterday was this morning was terrifying. You know, if I make a mistake, you don't have to make mistake here. So, next time I will listen to someone that said, "Well, in America it's only oval. Come on and try the oval." Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations. It was a really good lap. Grazie mille. See you later.
Grazie.
Thank you.
So that's one half of our front row. Claudio Remeggio Capelli, the first driver today to go under 20 seconds around the circuit. Claudio Remeggio Capelli, I think, riding high on the thrill of oval racing, and indeed maybe the slight puckering effect of oval racing as well. But I'm very intrigued to see how he performs later on. If there's anyone in EuroNASCAR 2 who I think may be worthy of the Intimidator label, Claudio Capelli strikes me as someone who could be, yes, he's fun-loving, yes, he's very friendly in front of the camera, but he's also an unrelenting driver. He's not someone who suffers fools gladly on the track, and we'll see how he performs in the race. Of course, that qualifying will only tell us so much about the race to come. I'm very excited to see what perhaps a Patrick Schauber can do from row 3, Victor Neumann as well on that third row. They could definitely be hunting for podiums. The same goes to the likes of Davidson and Chrysonis too. A few surprise packages perhaps a little further down the grid than we'd expect. Nick Strickler certainly will want to uphold Old Glory and do a good result in the Oval. When you're an American racer in a European series and we head to the Oval, even if it's not necessarily your bag, you want to do well. Getting a look back at Martin Dubek's qualifying run. His first lap was already very impressive. And then when the white flag flew, it got even better. Dubek, the only driver under a 19.9 out there on the circuit, with his 19.689. Wasn't even necessarily the most committed on corner exit to going close to the wall, but he just seemed to have that little bit extra in the back pocket. Maybe a little bit of that Hendricks magic coming in. The local knowledge coming in trumps for the Czech racer. That was his first flyer. This was his pole lap then, the second flyer, but we go away from that now. Martin Dubek, very, very impressive today. I like the short, sharp nature of that qualifying format. Very old school NASCAR Cup Series. Even a little bit reminiscent, of course, of the old one-lap quali days in Formula One Grand Prix racing as well. That was a very fun qualifying session, and it's given us a very compelling grid for the race to come. As you can see, still a fairly modern venue here at Venray, and there is a very happy man, I imagine, with his pole award.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam. They call you the grandfather of the track. You made your EuroNASCAR debut here, and now you have a pole position, a pole award in your hands after a stunning lap here on this half-mile short track. How do you feel?
Amazing. It was nice feeling. I'm really happy. This is my 10th season, and like I told you yesterday, I started. It was 2015, and it was my first race in EuroNASCAR, and it was here in Venray. So that's nice feeling that I will start from pole position. I'm a little bit scared because the race will be for 70 laps, and my neck already hurts. So we'll see what happens. I will go. I will drive both categories. So today and tomorrow will be 100 laps. So it will be a hard weekend. But yeah, I'm really happy. And now I need some rest, and then we go for the race.
One last question: if somebody tells you you're just going 4 corners, it's just an oval race, can be that easy or that tough, right? What do you tell them?
That maybe it looks like easy, but it's not easy. It's really hard. It's really hot inside the car, and it's too fast. And during the quali, in the fastest lap, the last lap, I did a mistake. So I think that it should be faster. Maybe 1 or 2 tenths should be faster, because I did a mistake in the last corner and I almost touched the wall, but I didn't. So that's good. And I think that it should be faster. We will see what happens during the start, but it will be the long race. So cross the fingers, and maybe we will see in podium.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations. Maybe see you later.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. we have heard from our front row, from Claudio Remeggio Capelli and also from Martin Dubeck. As per my understanding, we're now going to dive into the trackside show with Andre Viegold. So for now, for this qualifying session, and from here in the commentary box, I wish you very well. We'll be back racing in less than an hour's time, as a matter of fact, so make sure you stay with us for more action here at Venray.
That I will be on point.
Yes.
Tell
Never.
the truth.
No, never. You are a race car driver, never.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about how to set up one of those cars for an oval. What's the difference between road course racing and oval racing? Okay. So I think this is going to be interesting too. Yes.
You're ready whenever we are. Which camera is it? Like where do
Both. We're just talking to each other.
Good. Okay, good. What did you do? Crazy.
It was the beard. The beard is right.
Maybe, yeah. You went to chiropractor. Maybe that was.
Beide Rennen gingen super sauber. Ich glaube, wir hatten eine Caution. Das waren zwei. Jedes Rennen eine.
Problem ist, Szene, du hast eine. Doch, vielleicht. Aber du kannst es super spät angreifen. Bist du wirklich.
Manche haben richtig gute Zeit gefahren mit der unteren Linie, manche haben mit der oberen Linie gefahren. Da bin ich super überrascht von, dass das Multi-Tool funktioniert. Was früher war, außen.
Ja, weil ich brauche auch weiter. Meine schnelle Runde war auch außen, rein. Ja. Ich habe gesehen, der Ryan, der hat sich die obere Linie komplett vorbereitet.
Ja.
Problem wird sein, dass er alleine ist, der die ganz obere Linie fährt.
Und das ist interessant, wenn welche verschiedene Autos haben, die auf verschiedenen Linien heißt, es geht auch mit den Überholungen.
Ja. Und da weiß ich nicht, ob da ist sicher schnell, aber ich denke, der wird Arbeit haben, weil er ganz alleine ist, um sich die ganz obere Linie frei zu arbeiten. Und da gibt es.
Ich glaube, darüber reden wir jetzt gleich nochmal.
Ja.
Weil dann sage ich dir, dass ich halt verschiedene Strategien gesehen habe, wie die Autos anscheinend gesettet waren und was du davon hältst. Dann kannst du das alles nochmal auf Englisch erklären.
Sekunden wird langer.
And here we are in the fan zone at Raceway Venray, qualifying in EuroNASCAR 2 in the books. And next to me, Jill Linster, coming from a 7th place finish at Daytona, a super speedway. Now we're here at a short track in the Netherlands. And what I discovered in qualifying, different cars, different drivers, different setups and different lines. And that's something new, I think, on that track. Because in the past, the high line was the one. Now we see multi-grooves. So what does it mean for the race? What do you think?
Actually, I think that will make the whole race a little bit more interesting for everyone. It's actually difficult to say because we didn't have actually that much practice now. But yeah, as a driver, you always try to find out like who is driving which lane, maybe can you follow, where can you put the grip on the track, and it's very difficult because we have quite a lot of driver with different lines.
What about your short track racing experience in the US? You have been on several short tracks, but what makes the Raceway Venray so unique? Because I don't think I have some of those ovals in mind that are quite similar. New Smyrna, for example, you go to the inside lane. Here you stay at the wall. Is there any track that has the same character?
Yeah, I think like in general there is no track who has the same character. Like 4 turns, it's always something else. You have another banking, you have other cars, so it's very difficult to say. Okay, you have the experience in the oval, but I think the only experience that helps you a little bit is like when you come out of turn 2 or turn 4, like sliding to the wall. I think that's the only experience that helps. For the rest, I think every track has really their own character.
Does super speedway racing help you somehow here?
Not at all. No, really not at all. It's that's another world.
That's a completely different world for sure. But Hendricks Motorsport look really fast. Roy and Jupp Hendricks, they grew up at that track. They raced here when they were teenagers on the small track in the stock cars. How do they put their experience into setting up the cars here?
I think you saw that already today. Like in the first free practice, we were fastest, and that's not the driver. That's for sure the car. That's the experience of the team, and just putting a setup together in the garage, bring the car in, being fast. That's all credits to the team.
What about 70 laps? It's quite hot here in the Netherlands at the moment. How demanding will the race be for you?
I think that will be our toughest race this season for sure. It's because actually the EuroNASCAR is not a character of oval racing. So the steering and everything, I think the guys with experience, they know in an oval car they are only made to turn left, so it's much easier to turn into the turns. But like we really have to steer here to get the car down on the track.
All right, so thank you so much. We will maybe see each other later in victory lane or on the podium. So good luck for you later, and hope for a clean race. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And next up, the Sporting and Technical Director of EuroNASCAR, Joe Bellish, the former NASCAR Xfinity Series Chief Operator. So you have a lot of experience in the US, and now we're back to oval racing in Europe. How do you like it so far?
Yes, it's been amazing. This is a great facility. It's a really cool half-mile oval. The teams, all the feedback we're getting has been really good on the way the cars are handling. They really love the Hoosier tires and the grip that they're getting with the tires. So far this weekend, knock on wood, everything's been running smoothly.
On the technical side, those cars are meant to be driven on road courses, but now we're on an oval. What can you do with the setup to really set up the car perfectly for this? I know phone calls already coming in. No worries.
Yeah. So the difference really is when you're running on a road course, the car is set up equal left and right. So the the caster, the camber, the toe, all the front end geometry is all equal. When you're running on an oval and only turning left through the turns, you're going to want to change the geometry to take advantage of that left-hand turn. So the camber on one side will be in and out on the other. So when you're going through the corners, it'll stand the tires back up. Also, you'll want to, instead of having the same spring rate in the front, or you know how heavy the springs are in the front and the rear, you'll want to put a little softer on the left and a little harder on the right, and maybe even a little harder on the right rear for grip coming off the corner.
We don't have any stagger here, right, with the bigger tires on the right side?
We have a little bit of stagger that we can get, not much because of the difference in the air pressures that the teams run.
Yep.
So the Hoosier recommended tire pressure is 1.4 bar on the lefts and 1.9 bar on the rights, so that would give them just a little bit of stagger.
But do you think the teams will play a little bit with those things to find the optimal setup?
I would say with a smile, they're race teams, right?
Yeah.
They're always going to look for the fastest way, and our scrutineers are always making sure that they stay in the box.
But when you're telling about the box, I saw a really tight competition. They were all really tight together on the standings, so the competition is perfect for oval racing, right?
Absolutely, yes. And we've got a great field of cars that are here this weekend. They did a really good job working on their setups. We had a lot of practice time today. That really helped. So we had almost 2 hours of practice time for the teams so they could really drill down on what they needed to do to get a good lap for qualifying.
All right, I know that you are really busy, that you have a lot of tasks, so I release you right now. Thank you so much for joining me.
All right, well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rolling thunder hits the hills of Outer Rome as the cars go racing for the second time this weekend in EuroNASCAR 2. And it's Martin Dubek who has the pole position, but will he have the lead? I'm not so sure. Look at Benedetti on the inside there. He got his nose cut off in a big way. Chrysonis is in third position then. Thomas Chrysonis wants that podium and currently sits in position for it. Dubek still holding the inside line through turns 4, turns 5, and Jill Linster slots in behind him. Will the two Hendricks Motorsport cars now start to work together to try and get away from Chrysonis? The Marco Stipp Motorsport driver, Benedetti, though, pressuring and passing Chrysonis on the run down to turn 7. A late braking move there, perhaps not quite as spectacular as what we saw out of Thomas Tuffel yesterday, and Chrysonis is fighting back. Has the outside line though for the following corner. Can Benedetti hold the high ground? Yes, he can. And look at that bit of a block pass there, trying to stifle the run of Chrysonis out of that corner. Great side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel action here. Benedetti up to third place. Both of these drivers, Andre, Benedetti and Chrysonis, having a really good start, or having a really good weekend to this point. And Julian Reberg, unfortunately, is in the gravel at the last corner. Turn 15 has claimed its first driver of the weekend, at least in the races. Embedded into the gravel trap has gone Julian Reberg. We've got Roberto Benedetti slowing down in the back of shot as well. We just saw that Benedetti is slowing and indeed stopping at turn 5. Now that car is quite close to the racing surface, and if he can't get that fired up again, I suspect we could be under full course yellow. Siortsis to the inside of Thomas Chrysonis here, side by side. Well, that is now going to be for 5th position, because Thomas Tuffel has leapfrogged both of them. They've not really dropped Tuffel. Oh dear. Well, he's already got a 10-second penalty. And Nick Strickler now going off the circuit. A bit of a self-penalisation there. Oh no. Rahala with suspension damage there. That's on the exit of turn 5. And you could see there that the car's toe-in was all wrong, and I just wonder whether that's going to be yet another full course yellow, because that was in the gravel. And we're back to racing. Green flag. We're underway once again. Dubek and Linster then one more time going head to head, and Linster looking racy as we return to green flag conditions. Let's see He's got one more move in him. There is the 46 and the number 1. So this is the battle for 5th position. Chrysonis still ahead of Siortsis. Marzi away down the road in 7th place, as looking to the inside there. Once again was Siortsis. He looks braver on the brakes, he looks more confident on the brakes, but he's just not found a way past Chrysonis so far. Marzi, Erkley and Florian Richard there running in tandem. Good to see Jack Davidson at the back of the field as well, back out there on circuit. He rejoined the race after pitting with damage. Also joining the race quite late was Victor Neumann, a couple of laps down, but he's running as well, and of course he'll be back out in EuroNASCAR Pro as well. It's just good to see. Martin Dubeck eases it through turn 15 for the final time. It's a perfect weekend. 2 race victories for Martin Dubeck. That winning feeling is back. That momentum is back.
We are back in the fan zone with the next driver, Thomas Chrysonis, one of the oval racing experienced drivers we have on the grid in EuroNASCAR 2. And you're coming off a race weekend at Brands Hatch with highs and lows. First podium ever, first pole position, then crashed out. But still, you gained a lot of momentum in this season, right?
Well, I think we have worked a lot with the team. I have said it before. We are on a good way, let's say. So I put full trust in them. They put full trust in me, and we keep going forward. Okay, sometimes I can make a mistake. Sometimes it will be good. You know, we will get a result. So yeah, it's a long way still in the championship. We still have to finish the races here. So we will see. You know.
Yeah, but can you tell me something about your adventure when you went to the US to race on ovals there? How was it compared to Raceway Venray?
Well, it is similar and different at the same time. While the short track, you know, the length of the circuit is the same, but in New Smyrna, where I raced, there is a lot of banking on the turns. Like, it's more sharp going in and out of a corner. So yeah, that is the main difference. It's more aggressive. Here you need to keep steady pace again and again and again and again. So I think the one who will win here will be the one with the most steady lap times, you know, not the quickest.
Yeah, so you can nail it for 1 lap, but consistency will be the key over 70 laps, right?
By far. And for sure, like, if we have a restart and you are consistent by gaining 1, 2, 3 positions, then in the restart you can make something great happen, you know, but still, we start a little bit back.
That's interesting. You talk about restarts. If we get a caution, we're going to have the choose rule. You can choose to start on the inside lane or on the outside lane. Which one would you prefer?
Depends who is in front, you know. But if I see 5 cars going on the outside and I am the 6th car, I will take the first row, you know. If it's equal, I would prefer the outside lane, I think.
Because the outside lane is the groove, it's the racing line, right? Or we saw some different strategies in qualifying, to be honest. Some went a little bit down, some stayed up, so it was really mixed.
It's in between, and it depends also on the psychology that you have during the race. If you have the guts to push, you know, and force somebody out of the racing line, then the inside may be working more. But if the guy on the outside decides to push you back, then you will crash, you know. So
what about driving so close to the wall? We saw some of the rookie drivers not getting close to the wall. I think you were quite close because you have the experience to know how to put the car there. But is it in the back of a driver's mind to have the wall so close to the racing track because there are no runoff areas on an oval?
No, I think to go fast in the oval you need to look only in front. You don't look on the wall. Like, that's why also I saw from the replay, actually, like the first flying lap of mine was very close to the wall. But yeah, it's more about looking in front, trying to keep your line, not caring about the wall, because you know that if you do the line correctly, then you will not go into the wall. It works together, you know.
But how is it the fine line to find the limit, to be under the limit or to be over the limit? I think this is a very crucial point here, right?
Okay, I have been in the wall.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that I know I found the limit by crashing. So okay, somebody else might not be on the same page as me, but okay, I feel comfortable doing it because I know how the car feels when it's about to go wide. So
Okay, I know you will say first place, but what's the goal? Top 5, top 3, or do you just go for the win?
Man, I don't know, because I want to see what happened with the car, because we wasted the second flying lap. I don't know what to tell. If everything is okay, I think we have the pace for a top 5 finish. For starters, that is the realistic goal. Not to crash the car, to have a top 5 finish to get a lot of points for the championship, because we are racing tomorrow as well. If you want the obvious, what I feel in my heart, I want to win, but okay, let's be realistic. Also Gilles, also Martin, they are very good drivers on the ovals. I hope to get some positions, to have a restart and to follow them in a train. This is my end goal for today.
All right, thank you so much and good luck later on in the 70-lap race. Thomas Krasonis, Markus Stipp Motorsport. And we're back with another Markus Stipp Motorsport driver, Victor Neumann. I told the people that you're not carrying a lot of weight in the car because you're not the tallest guy. That may be an advantage here at Raceway Venray. But you had a decent lap in qualifying, right?
Yeah, I hope the decent lap doesn't come just from the fact that I'm very short. Hopefully there's a bit of talent and
And I'm not the tallest as well.
No, I know, but you're not in the car, so you don't have that advantage. No, I hope it comes from the hard work we've put in all season. It finally starts to pay off. We've been in the top 5 in practice in Brands Hatch, and in qualifying we were nowhere, I have to say. So that time it feels really good. When my spotter told me, mate, 20.1, you've done it. I was like, oh, thank God, because I'm used to him saying, yeah, well, P14, mate, it's a bit, better than usual.
Did it help that you had some experience on that oval? I know that you practiced here earlier this year in another class, and I saw you racing here. Was it an advantage to know the track, to know how it works?
Yeah, of course it is. But I think if you look at the people in front and even some people behind, they have even more experience on ovals and here as well. But yeah, it was tricky conditions back then. It was really difficult to adapt to a car that was an offset car, so just made to turn left effectively. So yeah, yes, it helped. Is it the same? Not at all, not the tiniest bit. But yeah, it helped. I have to say it helped.
What about the EuroNASCAR car? Is it good to handle on an oval?
Yeah, mate, it's unbelievable. Seriously, you just use the brakes to rotate the car, go back on power, and every single lap you're like, shit, it can carry even more speed. Like, it really feels brilliant on an oval like that. That's what we're here for, really. I've always wanted to do a proper oval race, so yeah, that feels absolutely mega.
And then my last question: if somebody is not telling you, man, you're just turning left, it can't be that tough, it can't be that difficult, what do you tell the people then?
Do you want an honest answer?
Tell me.
I just don't answer. Like, all right, mate, have a good day. I don't care. I never. I don't know. It's a bit. If someone's like that, it's kind of a hater. And why would you dedicate some time to a hater? Anyone.
But if you would need to explain somebody who really wants to understand it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell him that it's not necessarily just about turning left, because that's obviously very easy. But get used to 400 plus horsepower going around in a massive banking, 3 wide. Just give it a go. Give it a go on a simulator. You come back to me, you tell me how it feels. And very hot in the car as well, so physically it's very demanding as well. It's just as hard as road courses. It's just a bit different. Obviously, the only thing different is we don't need a track map in the car, because you know in which corner you are in case something happens. But apart from that, it's just as difficult. It's just different. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, and good luck later on.
Merci à toi.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And I'm back with two people. We planned to have only you, but we have also Dennis here. But I come to you later. I'm really sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, that's good that you understand. So I turn my back to you right now. That's fine, okay? All right. Pete Fink, the German voice of NASCAR. You are the main commentator in Germany for the NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series. We do a lot of commentary together there at Motorvision, and you have been here since 2015. Tell me how you discovered the oval and how you had what was your impression when you first saw this track? I know that is a nice story.
This is a very nice story. We know each other due to Venray, because when we started doing the live TV commentary for Motorvision TV, I was in Bristol already. I have already been in Bristol, and we were asked by email from a spectator, are there any ovals like Daytona, Talladega or Bristol in Europe? And I said no, not to my knowledge. And then I received an email from a guy called Andre Wiegold, and he said, no, it's not true. There is an oval in the Netherlands, in Venray. So I didn't believe him, and we get together in contact. And then when it was when it all starts with you, with your motorsport career. It was just one email with a lousy question: do we have ovals in Europe? No, yes we do, and I like it. When I was first here in 2015, I was already in Bristol, and I came here, looked at the short track oval and said, this is Bristol Mini. This is Bristol Mini. I cannot believe it, and I'm still very happy to be here after all those years, having EuroNASCAR again here in Venray. It's beautiful.
What about all the fans around us? I see a lot of people now watching us doing the interview with all the Motorvision shirts. You also part of an era how to make that made NASCAR big in Germany, really common to the motorsport fans, and also EuroNASCAR as well. We advertise a lot the races because they are really good. And what do you think about what we saw today already?
I'm very convinced about a very proper racing we have seen. No crashes up to, until now. Quick times, very quick times. Just 1 second in the second region behind the track record, and this is quite convincing.
All right, I have to now switch to this guy.
This is very important, guys.
So we now go to Dennis Sears, the owner of 3F Racing.
Of 3F Racing, exactly.
And you brought a racing driver really common in the US, NASCAR Xfinity and Truck Series driver Ryan Vargas. What about his performance? He's fast, but not the fastest.
That we have to change in the race, I think, right? To be the fastest in the race. But I'm very pleased with his performance. I think we ran pretty consistent lap times. He's really pumped for the race. It was very close, so let's see what's happening in the race. But the most important race for us is going to happen tomorrow for sure, the Euro Pro race, where we're trying to collect very important points.
Oh, this is interesting. So you're telling me he's already managing a little bit the risk to not have anything damage on the car for tomorrow?
I mean, you can always talk about that, but you know race car drivers, as soon they have the helmet off, you cannot tell them don't risk it. If there's a chance to take the win, he will go for the win. But for sure, for us it's important having the track time, that Ryan is having fun, and for sure I wouldn't mind winning this race.
This is interesting gear right now. We have a surprise for tomorrow, so you can reveal it maybe.
Yeah, I can reveal it. So I'm not having the stick with me because in case we fail in today's race, we're switching to hockey. So it's more.
I tried to show the name. I think it works.
It works. Okay. Yeah. So as you know, I'm from Cologne, Germany, born and raised. So a big Kölner Haie fan, one of the most popular hockey teams in Germany, and I'm friends with some of the players. And as I know, you're also a big hockey fan.
Oh yes.
We watched many games together. So yeah, we can be very happy with the EuroNASCAR having the Kölner Haie as our special guests tomorrow here during the race, and they will sign autographs. They will be in the grid, so that will be a lot of fun.
I'm a little bit scared that two big guys came here with the hockey gear. I was already thinking about getting a beating.
Now, or you feel intimidated?
A little
by
bit,
us, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So think about what you're asking us.
I'm going to switch now from you to your smaller and a little bit not so terrifying driver Ryan Vargas.
Okay. So we're gonna do this. Thank you very much.
All right. So we could just go back in a little break and then we get Ryan. Thank you. I always wanted to say that. Young kids always on the phone. Ryan Waage is now with me, and you had a decent qualifying lap here at Raceway Venray, but you were not fastest despite your Truck Series and NASCAR Xfinity Series background. I have to ask you why.
I mean, I just, it's something that I'm not used to, you know what I mean? These cars are, it's an entirely different background, entirely different race car. These cars are so much different than the cars I grew up racing, right? So I came into this weekend knowing that the guys like, Gorelli in open practice this morning, and then you see the Hendricks guys, I knew they'd be really fast. They have a lot of experience here on the oval. They were going to be my guys to beat, and that's how it was. But, we're one of the few guys in the 19-second bracket, which is great. We finally cracked that bracket, which is fantastic. I think there's only 4 cars in Euro 2 that did that, so that's great. In Euro Pro, that's going to help us out a lot come tomorrow. So that was the whole goal of today, really. It's just use today as a massive practice day and hopefully get ourselves a good finish out of it.
You already explained me that it's a proper stock car for road courses.
Yes.
What about ovals?
I mean, it races very well on ovals. Obviously there's a lot of adjustment that we had to do to get it to go, left-hand dominant. But we were really comfortable. I was really comfortable right off the gate. We made a couple big changes at the car just to help the stability going into the corner, coming off the corner, and obviously me working on my line and stuff. But it definitely felt good to be back on an oval. Being able to just show up and get right to it, so that felt great. But to do it with Lyrgus Security and Critical Path Security, Custom Kings, all the great groups aboard, it's been a real big honor, and just really excited for today, and hopefully hoping for another dry day tomorrow.
What about the Benelux and German racing and NASCAR fans? To see you on an oval, it's something special for them. Do you feel the atmosphere already?
Oh, absolutely. No, I've had a bunch of fans actually come up to me today with little hero cards or trading cards and stuff like that. Just ask for my signature. I didn't realize that so many people were so excited to see me here, which is really cool. Very excited to do that, especially like I said, representing all the amazing partners that we have this weekend. Being able to do that, and make such a good impact within the series, it's a great feeling. But the game today is 70 laps of trying to figure out the racetrack a little bit more, trying to learn it, and maximize our day.
All right, thank you so much, and good luck later on.
Perfect.
And see you maybe later in Victory Lane.
Sounds good, hopefully.
And I'm here right now with one of the local heroes, a Dutch legend, former Grand Prix driver, and now in an oval in the Netherlands, Michael Blekemolen, and also the oldest driver on the grid with 74 years old. But
thanks.
I'm sorry for that, but now the positive is coming. You still have what it takes to be fast, right?
Yeah, I know that I'm most of the times I'm not really at the front, but not far away. I'm leading the Legend Championship. But I know that when I concentrate myself on the ride, then it must be okay. Sometimes I'm 9 or 12 or something like that. But yeah, at the other end, nobody from 74. Yeah. You told me I'm 74. But that makes it sometimes difficult, yeah.
Difficult, but still the practice and the qualifying was quite good, so you have a decent starting position. How is it for you to be on an oval instead of a road course?
Yeah, I prefer the normal circuits, but anyway, with this result I'm happy, and yeah, it's fantastic because a lot of spectators always, and I love to be in Holland, of course, because we are always far away, and we have a lot of guests. 150 people are coming today and tomorrow as well. Yeah, that makes it for us really special.
What about the event? What about the track, the facility? This is proper NASCAR racing, right? With the atmosphere and the passion we have here for the racing, with all the fans coming to get close to the drivers and to the cars.
That's important,
Yeah.
close to the drivers, because a lot of people, they told me it's so nice because we can speak with all the drivers and we can have a look in the garage, and that is the situation with all the other race series. You need special tickets for this, a special ticket for that. Here you come in and you see everybody and you feel everything.
All right, dankjewel. Thank you so much and good luck later on.
You
Thank
learn
so
a
much.
little bit Dutch.
Ja, ik spreek een beetje Nederlands.
Ah ja, I know, yeah.
Ja, dankjewel. I need the microphone. Oh, okay. And now the next one on the hot seat, it's Ariana Casuli, a veteran in this racing series, not
Yes.
because of your age, because of your experience, of course. And you have been oval racing for a decade now. You have a lot of experience. How is it for you to be back at Venray?
I love it. It's not so easy to gain the lap time and everything because it's completely different from road course. It's so many years that we don't run here in Venray. Last time I was here, it was in 19.
19, yeah, definitely.
2017. So I missed the 2019.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a lot of time, but that's fine. It's nice to get back. I love it. Oval racing is amazing. And let's see the race because the race is really long one.
Yep.
And must be careful and lead the car to the end. So let's see what happens.
You said it's a long time, so it's just 4 corners, easy to remember, right?
Yes.
But no, I
But,
guess.
it is to gain the feeling of going fast, really close to the wall. This is not, we are not used anymore because after so many years, it's not so easy. The last time I think I did the tour, that the fast lane wasn't down, so we changed the perspective.
Yeah. So also off track, you
Yeah.
try to be an idol for young racing fans, especially girls and women who want to come into motorsports. What do you do? What do you tell young girls who want to be involved in motorsports as a driver, mechanic, engineer, whatever they want to
Everyone.
be? Tell me.
I was talking in my city in a conference, talking about also age gap. I think that there are many content we can share. We have the opportunity to talk with people here. It's an amazing place. I talk like a woman. I'm not so young, so I am a mom also, and I see that also the kids are growing up and their mentality is to have everything fast. But I'm still there.
Yep.
So you can do it maybe not at 15, maybe at 20, 25, 30. Even if you are a woman, there are many moms that are coming to the racetrack with their son and they are so, oh, wow, that's fine. And someone is telling, okay, I tried go-kart with my son, it was fun. Yes, you can do it. Why not?
So you're inspiring people, young girls, older women,
Yes.
every part of the life they are, that they can go racing, that they can be involved in racing
Yes.
teams, that they can chase the dreams, right?
They can chase their dream and you can change your target because my target is to be here, to improve myself. I can improve all the time. In Brandsatch I had my best lap time in 9 years.
Yep.
So I'm happy. I was winning my target.
Yeah.
I don't know here what will happen during the race. I was improving today. Let's see, because it's always a challenge in life.
Yeah.
You never give up. You must, okay, I cannot tell, for example, I want to win the race if my target is not to win the race. But if I got a target that I can achieve, why not?
Yep. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Grazie
to you.
mille. And I wish you all the best for the race. 70
Thank
laps of
you.
racing. I'm really curious where you end up. Thank you so much.
You. Thanks.
And now I'm here with one of my favorite persons in the paddock, Federico Monti. Thank you so much. You're back in EuroNASCAR too, racing on an oval.
Yes, to find this opportunity to drive in the oval for me is the first time, so it's a great one. For first practice was I'm doing what I'm doing here, but now it's going better and better. I think it can be a really nice track. I'm so happy about that.
What about the oval? Were you terrified a little bit at the beginning with the walls coming so close?
Yes, the wall is coming so close and you go so large, so it's just a meeting, but you don't have to meet each other, about that. But it's going really better. I'm so really happy about that. Also with my teammate Claudio, make a really good qualifying. We are just to see, we are under the sky and we just watch what's happening.
That's exactly my next question. It's not the racing driver Federico Monti only, it's also the team owner. You're part of Academy Alex Caffey Motorsport as a team owner. Sorts is doing a good job. Capelli, really fast this season. You have to be really happy with your team, right?
Yes. We have been a little bit unlucky in the first 3 races because we were a target for the other drivers with our car. I don't know why, but we are starting not so well like last year, but we are doing better. We are growing up, and nothing in this race. The only problem is that there is no Alex Caffey, and he miss you so much. He miss us so much, but everything is going. We hope. Yeah, we are here.
All right.
To fit.
Thank you so much. Grazie mille, and hopefully see you later.
Welcome. I would like to have this microphone at home.
Oh, no, I have to get it. Yes, I'm sorry. Ciao.
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 Best 11 has been a belter so far. Let's see what happens as EuroNASCAR 2 go racing for the first time. Martin Dubeck and Jill Linster lock out the front row for Hendricks Motorsport, and it's a good start from the row number 2 there. In fact, row number 3, of course, from Claudio Remigio Capelli. He's sweeping around the outside there from 4th position, but it's Martin Dubeck that leads the way from Linster in second. One car kicking up dust further back as Claudio Remigio Capelli tries to go around the outside at Druids Bend. I think he's trying to make a bid for 3rd place here. Yes, he is. He gets past Patrick Schauber. That's a very good start then from Claudio Remigio Capelli. And Thomas Chrysonis is now alongside. He's got an interesting scrap in rookie as well. Lots of racing going on. Here comes Chrysonis. Having a little bit of a look to the outside, then cutting to the inside out of Druids. But of course then the following bend, Graham Hill, doesn't quite work out for him. Oh, Schauber running it wide, coming out of the corner. Chrysonis then gets through. Jack Davidson also gets through as well. 2 cars past Patrick Schauber. Devel now pressuring the rear of the 88 car. He wants that top 10 finish that I alluded to earlier on. After the engine change, after a dramatic EuroNASCAR Pro race, he would love to really re-establish the car's pace and see what the car can do in race conditions with a new engine. Linster is under a lot of pressure from Capelli right now. Linster, Capelli, Chrysonis pressing on here. This is a good battle for second place. And it's a battle that's about to change because Linster slows. Now that looked to me like something might have gone wrong mid-corner, or was it just understeer? Because it just very bizarrely kind of stopped turning on him there. And Linster goes from 2nd to 6th position in one fell swoop. He's still going at speed, so I think that may have been driver error rather than an issue. But we have an issue elsewhere. Is that the 27 car? I think it is Simone Giussani in the 27 double V car into the barriers at Paddock Hill Bend. Will Dubeck hold firm at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit? We go racing. Lap 31 begins now, and it's Dubeck with the lead into Paddock Hill Bend. Capelli wide, trying to take a sweeping line around Paddock Hill, and he succeeds at doing so. That, at the very least, keeps Thomas Chrysonis behind him as we get into the bedlam and the melee of a last-minute return to green flag. We got cars off the circuit. Florian Richard pointing the wrong way there. Everybody did a great job of avoiding him, and hopefully he can get that car refired without the need for any intervention. A brilliant day across both classes for Martin Dubeck. concludes with a win in EuroNASCAR 2, and his championship lead will extend only further. Claudio Remeggio Capelli takes second place from Chris Sonis.
And we are back with another guest. It's EuroNASCAR's PR manager Gianluca Guiglia from Italy, and you have been around with this series for decades, I would like to say. It's almost 1 decade, right?
Yeah, it's my 70th consecutive event.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's very nice, very evil for you to put me here.
There's one thing. You started on top of a van, operating a camera, commentating the race, and now we're here having a live studio, thousands of fans on the grandstands, oval racing back in Europe, in NASCAR. You must be very happy, right?
Yeah, I'm happy, and I'm really proud of the people working with me.
Thanks.
You included, of course, because we are really growing this series. We worked a lot since the first time, Nogaro, April 1st, 2013, we did huge strides, and NASCAR is growing in Europe. The fans are here, and they are all happy. You see lots of smiling faces, great racing on the track, and yeah, I'm proud and really happy of it.
What about the racing fan inside of you? I know that it's really rare that you see cars on track, but today I saw you watching a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 minutes. How is it to see those cars on an oval again?
Well, it's oval racing, so you know I'm a racing fan first. So as soon as I hear the engine noise out of the window, I say, I need to look at it. And we've been here last time in 2019, and I missed it, man. I really missed it, because oval racing is in NASCAR's DNA, and it's just so cool to see them turn left and left and left, and I can't wait for them to get the green light today.
All right, I have one last thing. If you want to have an entertaining evening, just take a look at one of the last races of 2017. I think Franciacorta and Zolda, because we were the commentators for those races, totally tired.
Especially Sunday.
Yeah, Italian, German, in English. If you want to have some fun, watch those races on the EuroNASCAR YouTube channel.
Watch it, EuroNASCAR.com.
I'm going to get the driver right now, so go away. It's always great to talk to in an interview. You can give him some traps, and you can. And we are back, and finally a driver. I don't want to talk to the PR guys, I want to talk to the drivers, of course. Just a joke, Gianluca, I'm really sorry. Vladimir Tsortsis, driving for Academy, Alex Caffey Motorsport. I talked to your team boss, Federico Monti, a few moments ago, and he said he's really proud of the pace and the team's work. You didn't have the luck you deserved this year so far, but still the pace is promising, right?
Well, yeah, we are halfway for the championship. I think, like last year, you remember, everything come from down, upside, and upside down. So I think we still have a long way until finals. The pace is there from the beginning of the year. I think everybody saw that, unfortunately, the luck was not on our side. But we don't give up. We are there. We are fighting, and I think all the team is ready to do the best possible. And as I said, we have Czech Republic, then Germany and Belgium. That is a long way. Many things can change.
First things first, oval racing at Raceway Venray. You're new to oval racing. racing. And that's interesting. I saw you developing on the road courses since years now, but turning left 4 times, it sounds so easy, but it's really tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's more difficult to manage in 3 practices to get in the pace with the guys that they are experienced, do the possible that you can, kiss the walls in order to be fast. It's not an easy job. So I am happy that this morning we have the time to work with the car, with the track. After 100 lap almost, I didn't feel my neck, which is it was wow. So yeah, I think we will have a lot of action this weekend. Every driver will try to do the best possible result and give the best show outside there.
What about the EuroNASCAR hype in your home country in Cyprus? I know that you're doing a great job promoting the series, promoting yourself, and this kind of racing you love so much. How is the fan base developing over there?
Well, now everybody knows what is NASCAR. They know what means EuroNASCAR. They know the drivers that are participating, not only Vladimiros, which is very important. So everybody is ready, and they hope that one day EuroNASCAR will visit also Cyprus. Why not?
Do we have a proper racetrack there?
Yeah, we have some discussions 1 year ago. I think they are on a good way, hopefully soon to try to do something.
What do I have to Google to find the racetrack?
Well, it's Agna Speedway. It's close to the most popular place in Cyprus, which called Ayanapa. It's a touristic place next to the sea, so it will be nice to see something like this in the future.
I say fingers crossed. I'm all in for it. Whatever it is, I'm in for it. I love it when we see new places. So, what is thank you, Eskarifa? Is that?
It's Evcharisto.
Evcharisto. Okay. I still need to practice this. It's one of the most challenging for me.
It's Greek, eh?
Yeah. I try really. Next time I have it better.
Yeah.
Promised.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We can give it
take off and go racing. Chrysonis launches away from pole position, but look at that, Capelli is hanging on around the outside. Has he got it? It's side by side as they run towards Druids Bend for the first time. Capelli on the brakes, Chrysonis a little bit deeper into the corner by the looks of it. He's going defensive. Who emerges first? It is Chrysonis. He's squeezed out Capelli there going through Druids Bend, and that's allowed Martin Dubek up into second place. Then it's Capelli, then it's Davidson. Dubek on the offensive early doors. He looks to the inside at Surtees. Can't quite get it done there. It's Chrysonis that leads the way. This is a 31 lap race, and that's a poor run out of Paddock Hill Bend from Chrysonis. Dubek's on the inside. Contact between Chrysonis and Martin Dubek. Oh, and Capelli and Dubek. Capelli and Dubek have collided. What on earth happened there? Clark, he goes to the outside line going into Paddock Hill Bend, but watch, he'll cut now to try and take the inside on the approach of Druids. That's exactly what he does. He's got the inside line. Exemplary textbook move here at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, and he gets through into 4th position. Thomas Tuffel trying to follow him through as well in Rookie Trophy. Erkely tries to carry the speed, gets sideways on corner exit at Paddock Hill, goes defensive into Druids Bend, and Rayala is welded to the rear of the Vict Motorsport number 8 car. Oh, and there's been contact further back. Benedetti involved, Strickler involved, and unfortunately Claudio Remigio Capelli is involved and very damaged. Well, that was another incident for Claudio Remigio Capelli. It looks like Benedetti going no further. The cars are rolling, and once again the cars are racing. They accelerate towards Paddock Hill Bend once more. Davidson with the inside line. Linster tries to carry it around the outside, but Davidson having none of it, just leaning on him a little bit through Paddock Hill Bend, as Schauber challenges for the podium around the outside at Graham Hill Bend for 3rd position. He's got the momentum out of the corner, but he's got the outside line for Surtees. There's contact between them. That's the tyre down for Melvin de Groot. De Groot goes sideways across the grass. Oh, where's he going to rejoin? He rejoins, thankfully, free of anybody else, but it's Jack Davidson. Jack Davidson is the first ever British race winner in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. It's his first win.
And let's talk about tires on an oval. Thank you so much, Andre, for joining me. Hoosier Racing Tires supporting and supplying EuroNASCAR with one of the most important parts that we have in racing.
Correct.
We have to talk about oval racing because in the past, Hoosier brought us perfect road course tires, but now it's a different challenge. Can you tell me something about that?
Yes, absolutely. So this tire which we are running here is now existing since nearly 5 years. And the last time, as you said, we have been here with a previous product, which was a little bit smaller in terms of width, but also in diameter. So the latest product we have right now was actually developed for normal circuits, so with cornering, left-right, braking, and all that stuff, what you know, of course. And this application here is pretty different to what the tire usually has to accept in terms of performance. So what is important here is, of course, it's only going left. It's always going left, 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 and then you have to have a little bit higher pressure on the right side, of course, because the tire on this particular track in an oval always has much more load on the right side. And this can be 1.5 to 1.8 times the weight what the tire usually has on a normal circuit. So to avoid any tire problems, we have to go up with the pressure. It's a bit like a trailer, you know, when you load a lot of weight on a trailer or in your car, you have also to inflate your tires higher. And it's kind of the same, but only on the right side, and especially the right front, because of the higher weight of the engine, which you also have, of course, on that side. This is basically the highest pressure. Then you have the right rear, and then the left front, and then the left rear in terms of pressures. So this is the highest position, and yeah.
What about tire management for the drivers? They have to do qualifying in one race, a very long race with those tires, with one set of tires, but I don't think that the Hoosier tires will cause any problems, because I saw them really good on track. Cornering seems to be good, and all the drivers told me the handling is really, really well.
Yes, I think so. This will be for us still an interesting topic here to see that what will happen over the long run. I mean, it's still a long race. Nevertheless, we have good experience in the US with similar products where we also have them running on different applications as well. I mean, we know the weather is pretty warm, and it stays, of course, like this. I think also for tomorrow it looks like. So it's not easy for the tire, but for sure I trust our engineers as well. So I don't think there's a big problem at all.
All right, thank you so much, and have fun in the race.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Andre.
Okay.
Jack?
I could talk for 2 minutes if you want me to.
And we are already back with Jack Davidson, a freshly crowned EuroNASCAR winner from Brands Hatch, the first British racing driver in EuroNASCAR to win a race in front of his home crowd. You carry a lot of momentum, right?
Yeah, I mean, we carry a lot of momentum coming into this weekend, coming off that win. But yeah, it's trying to, obviously, first time I've been round an oval was this morning. Never been round an oval before, so to qualify 7th for this, I'm pretty happy, to be fair. And then racing, we're just going to see how it all goes.
What about oval racing? Tough challenge or easy to do?
Easier than I thought it was going to be. To be fair, again, it's all about kind of you're trying to slow the car down as little as you can and then kind of throttle around. So, I mean, once you kind of get that kind of nailed a little bit, then it's all right. I mean, we've got a lot of time to try and catch up to Martin Dubeck. Obviously, he's, I don't know, 6'10", 7'10" up the road. So, I mean, it's going to be hard, but yeah, we'll just need to see how the race goes.
Is it fun?
Yeah, very fun. Very, yeah.
How is it on a physical part? Because I heard drivers having some problems with their neck.
So the laps I'd done, like I did start to get a little bit of a sore neck, but nothing major. Actually, in the qualifying, on my last flying lap, I came off the throttle and my right arm started to cramp up. So maybe need a bit more salt. But yeah, no, it is going to be physical, especially 70 laps. It's a long time.
All right, I will release you right now because we have the grid already there, and I think there are a lot of people trying to get get an autograph or photo. So thank you so much and good luck later on. And we are now going back to our normal show, pre-race show here at Raceway Venray. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Venray race day number 1 for EuroNASCAR 2 this weekend. We've had qualifying just an hour or two ago. We are now into the pre-race festivities. We've had Andre down there in the fan area giving insights and interviews from our drivers. And now the fans are on the grid among the cars and indeed among the drivers here on our first oval appearance for 5 years. The NASCAR Whelen Euro Series making its return to the banking of Venray. 25 degrees in the high lane here. Progressive banking means that the high line is usually favoured, but so far we've seen that the lower lane is also very viable. A lot of the drivers that were fast in qualifying did take that lower line. We're expecting multi-lane racing here. We're expecting at least 2 grooves through this race. It'll be a 70-lap duration for the drivers of EuroNASCAR 2. Uniquely this weekend, it's 1 race for EuroNASCAR 2 and 1 race for EuroNASCAR Pro. Rather unlike our standard setup, and that means that the entirety of Saturday is focused on EuroNASCAR 2, and the entirety of Sunday is focused on EuroNASCAR Pro, which definitely makes things a more streamlined experience for the viewers at home as well as the spectators. Of course, a lot of these cars are used across both categories, which is sometimes a little bit of a hard thing to explain to someone seeing EuroNASCAR for the first time. But of course, it is very cost effective, very useful for the teams that they can use the same chassis across 2 classes with 2 different drivers. Today, these cars return to the Oval for the first time since 2019. We've been to a couple of different ovals over the years in EuroNASCAR, but certainly this one is special. Another person that's special is Claudio Remigio Capelli. Always fun to talk to, eh, Andre?
Thank you so much. Front row, Claudio. Yeah. An amazing qualifying, right?
Thank you. Yes, it was amazing. I didn't expect it for the first time here, so I'm very happy. Second is not first, you know, the new rule penalized the second, but it's a long race. So
a long race and a lot of opportunities to maybe make the pass for the win, right? Yeah. Do you have to be very cautious and calm, and you have to wait for your opportunity, or are you going to be very aggressive?
No, I have to wait for my opportunity. Last time I was aggressive, I finished in the gravel, so no, I wait, I can wait.
Remember, there's no gravel here. Yeah, there's just a wall.
That's the problem. That's the big difference.
Do you want to hear one advice? Don't go right.
Don't go right. Yeah, don't turn right. Yeah, thank you.
All right, grazie mille. Have good luck and have fun.
I will remember for 70 left. Don't go right. Don't go right. Don't go right.
All right, back to you, Adam.
Andre Viegold, broadcaster, commentator, and driver coach, giving his insight to Claudio Remigio Capelli. That's the kind of insight you only gain with 16 years of spectating and getting involved here at Venray. We will hear from more of the drivers down there. Of course, they're busy signing autographs, chatting to the fans. And of course, one of the more popular drivers on the grid this year, Ryan Vargas, is racing in EuroNASCAR 2 this weekend. It's his first ever appearance in the 2nd division of EuroNASCAR. He's doing both races this weekend. Of course, Martin Dubeck, another driver that does that on a regular basis. Thomas Chrysonis, Thomas Toffel, all drivers that typically double up. And this weekend, doubling up may pay dividends. Andre, over to you.
I was interrupting the fans getting some autographs by Ryan Vargas, and it's a 2nd row start in EuroNASCAR 2 in your EuroNASCAR 2 debut on an oval in Europe. That sounds so strange for you, right?
Yeah, it's a very strange weekend for me. These cars, you know, they're not made for ovals, but at the same time they're oval platform based, right? So it's a very interesting, interesting dilemma there. But you know, we have a really good handling race car. I think we have really good race pace. I think our qualifying pace was just as good. I mean, we're one of the few cars in the 14-second bracket, so I think that shows a lot of our pace. And I think if we're able to, find ourselves a gap and work ourselves, into a good position, I think that's going to be the name of the game here.
Quick question, bump and run or being calm and cautious?
If I'm going for the lead or maybe a podium, maybe I'll get a little aggressive. I can't move them here. You have to be smart. You can't move guys here in EuroNASCAR. There's a stewarding system here, but I think I have a lot of confidence that we can get our critical path security, Lyrgus security Chevy to the front.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck. And keep on doing the autographs right now. Back to you, Adam.
We have to worry about the driver's necks seemingly this weekend. You also have to worry about the driver's wrists. There's always a lot of autograph signing during these grid walks. Unparalleled fan access here in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. You can definitely find Jill Linster's car, what with the Luxembourg flags as far as the eye can see. Seemingly everyone I know who was at Brands Hatch in the spectator areas said, "Oh yeah, no, I saw Jill Lindster's family." It's like, "Oh yeah, what gave it away? Was it the 7 flags?" Certainly outward with their support. We saw Liam Hazeman's down there, of course, as well. Liam's brother Loris is racing at Spa this weekend in the Spa 24 Hours. So the Hazemans family keeping an eye on 2 different racetracks this weekend. Of course, Liam will be racing tomorrow in EuroNASCAR Pro in that number 50 car. He's one of a few drivers who got some seat time in another Oval Series to get some experience. Jill Lindster had some seat time in an Oval, albeit a very different one, Andre.
Thank you. Oh yes, a very different Oval. Adam talked about your super speedway experience. I think it's not going to be any helpful here on a short track. Yeah, just keep going. You can listen and talk to me while doing autographs, I think. So,
that's so easy.
Short track racing, something you're familiar to. A decent starting position, right?
Yeah, I think like in Venray, like being P3, it's actually a good spot. If you cannot go for the first place, so for sure you want the 3rd place. 2nd place, I think this track is very tough on the tires, on the inside line. So actually P3 is actually quite okay.
What about the car? What about the setup? Everything's fine?
Yeah, everything is fine. Now qualifying was on me. Actually, it was just on me. Did 2 small mistakes, and on ovals, it's not the time to make mistakes.
Can I ask you a favor? Can you tap on Liam's shoulder? Oh no, he's doing a photo right now. Okay, I have to wait. I tried to get a word with him as well because he did a really good job in practice, right?
Yeah, for sure. He was super quick.
So I tried to get him. Liam, can you come to me for just a quick second? Yeah. You were very, very fast in free practice in EuroNASCAR Pro in the Oval Discovery practice. I saw you in the car. Has it been your first time on an Oval? No, right?
Yeah, no, first time, never drove. No, actually not true. I drove one time in the LMV8 and so yeah, no, of course it helps a bit the experience, you know. I mean, one race, so one whole day here on the Oval, so it helps. And also, I mean, of course we have, I think, well, the best team for, I mean, this circuit. At the end of the day, it's our home track. I mean, Hendricks is living here, I think, 30 minutes from. So yeah, definitely well prepared.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, well, and good luck. Back to you, Adam.
Of course, it's the first time that Liam Hazemans has been able to come to his home EuroNASCAR race. He has previously kind of adopted the Belgian race as his home outing, but now he does have a race in the Netherlands, which I'm sure he will be loving. Of course, the Hazemans name, one of the big ones in Dutch motorsport. Another of the big ones is Bleekemolen. And of course, Team Bleekemolen are here. Mikael Bleekemolen is here, and so is one of his sons, Sebastian, part of the Bleekemolen racing dynasty. We see the RDV competition car there, but we also see Andre on our screen, so let's go to him now.
I'm here with Patrick Schober and Paul Jouffreau. We start with the EuroNASCAR 2 driver, Patrick. You were definitely fast, incredibly fast for a person, for a driver who never have been on an oval in a EuroNASCAR car, so you must be happy, right?
Of course, yes, I am happy. Since the beginning, the track on the car, really, I hit the spot, I would say. It was a great feeling. Let's see how it will be in the race. It will be definitely tough, 70 laps. I have some good drivers next to me that have more experience than me on an oval. But yeah, that doesn't stop me. I'm gonna just do my best, and yeah, we'll see.
But you try to gain an advantage. I saw you on a dirt track, on a short flat dirt track in a stock car Formula 2 car in Austria. They are also part of the program here, those cars. So you had your first laps of oval racing there, right?
Yeah, you can't really compare dirt to asphalt, but yeah, it was a little bit of experience turning left. But yeah, I'm happy. Motorsport Active gave me the opportunity, so thank you for them. And yeah, I'm just trying to have a nice race today and finish the race as well. Yeah.
All right, good luck. Thank you so much. Now over to Paul Jouffreau. Is it your first time on an oval?
Yeah, it was my first time. I've made my first lap this morning in the Discovery testing. It's just amazing. Oh my God, you cannot imagine the feelings before trying it. You're at 5 centimeters minimum of the walls. You just exit flat out at that of the wall. So yeah, it's just amazing. You enter with so much speed, you exit with so much speed. You know, we do everything for the car to turn at the left. So even if you have the steering wheel straight, it go to the left. It's amazing. It's my first time, but I will do more for sure in the future.
Some people say just 4 left turns, so it's easier.
No. It's so I was thinking the same, but it's so technical. It's right, and it's logical. You have 2 turns, so to be better than the others, you have to find the little secret, the little gap of the maybe the throttle bit later, bit earlier. You have to try everything to gain 2 tenths, to gain 2 cents, to 2,000. So and everything will count at the end. So this is so technical. The mental aspect is really high pressure. You cannot rest at any moment, even in practice. And I'm not used to oval racing, so we put a pad on my right, and you know I wasn't prepared to that. So at the start of the practice, I was taking my neck out of it, and at the end I was just dead. So I said okay, and put like that, and it's better.
All right, merci beaucoup, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, Adam. Perfect.
Interesting to hear
Thank you so much.
that insight in regard to the neck. We've heard a lot about that over the last couple of hours. Drivers struggling with their necks, with the forces, of course, all being directed to the right side of their neck. There you see the Thomas Chrysonis car, the number 46 Marco Stitt Motorsport entry. Chrysonis, who scored his inaugural EuroNASCAR podium just a few weeks ago. He's with Andre now.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thomas, we are almost ready. The grid walk is cleared right now. I think a lot of fans ready for the first oval race since 2019. How happy are you to be on that track?
You know that I am very happy to be in this championship in general. Every race is an experience. I like to see the people that many fans enjoy what we are doing and they are supportive. It's super nice to see that after the event came back after a long time, it's full of fans also here in the Netherlands that are appreciating our efforts. And we look for a good result and we see how it goes.
The pace looked decent, right?
The pace is good. It's a shame that we didn't manage to put together a qualifying lap, but it's okay. We have a long way to go, 70 laps. You never know, these tracks are diabolical, maybe something crazy is happening, so we will see.
All right, then good luck and have fun. See you maybe later. Back to you, Adam.
Well, there we go, Chrysonis will be one to watch. Marco Stitt Motorsport, also with oval racing experience in their back pocket, which is surely helpful. That's a big part of why a lot of people have been saying Hendrix Motorsport are the favourites for this one. It is, of course, a Hendrix Motorsport car on pole position. Martin Dubeck alongside Claudio Remigio Capelli, and then the other Hendrix Motorsport car of Jill Linster there on the second row. So a 1-3 for Hendrix in qualifying. And we can expect the race pace to be good as well. And as Jill Linster said, he feels he's got the leg up by starting third on the grid, having that outside line into 1 and 2. We kind of had the opposite effect with the inside line for third place, effectively being second by the time they got to Paddock Hill Bend at Brands. Meanwhile, let's go to Andre once again.
Thank you so much. I'm here with Miguel Gomez, our returnee, comeback in EuroNASCAR. And in the past, I know you've done some laps oval racing in real life, but in the virtual world, I know that you are doing lap by lap by lap, thousands of them. So this is your, let's say, home race in form of racing, right?
Kind of. It's my passion, oval racing, and at home I do it every week, almost every day, and it's a privilege to be here to racing EuroNASCAR in a oval. It's really great for me.
Oh, Melvin de Groot also here. You're happy? Everything's fine?
Yeah, but I need to finish before him.
So
what are your goals? Finish in front of Melvin.
Yeah, that's the first one, and we'll see. We were looking good in the practice. Then I hit the wall. and qualify didn't went so good, so we'll see. But the car is feeling good, so we'll see. I'll do my best and try to improve the position.
Any plans to also go back to road course racing with EuroNASCAR?
Yes, maybe. No confirmations, but I would love to. Yes.
All right, thank you so much and enjoy it. Good luck. Back to you, Adam.
Well, there we go. Gomez, one to watch on the ovals as well. Quite a few of our drivers have a passion for oval racing, even if we haven't been able to go oval racing since 2019 in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. It's so good to be back on the banking here at Venray, as I should call it, rather than Venray. I've been anglicising it all day long. This circuit, quite the challenge for our drivers, certainly. It's a half mile, a lot of complexities, and it takes a deft hand to set up a car perfectly for any oval. We saw some cars looking remarkably loose earlier on during the qualifying session. I think Thomas Tuffel had one of the slides of the qualifying session. It's going to be very interesting to see quite how much pack racing there is from our EuroNASCAR 2 drivers in particular, especially those without the oval racing experience. How confident will they be to go 2, maybe even 3 wide around this circuit? It's 12.5 minutes until the countdown to command is given. I'm very excited to hear the engines roar at Venray for the first time in 5 years for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Everyone's been excited. Everyone has had this weekend circled on the calendar. And finally, it's here. Of course, it is Martin Dubeck who leads the EuroNASCAR 2 Championship at this stage. He's had pretty much a perfect season so far this year. Had some very strong results. He and Jill Linster have been the forces thus far in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series EuroNASCAR 2 division. Dubeck some 15 points clear of Linster at the top of the standings. Thomas Tuffel still third at the moment. See Claudio Remeggio Capelli's car there, the number 5 on the inside for the rolling start. Capelli not adverse to getting his hands dirty. You can't win a race at turn 1, so say the racing scholars. However, if he can try and get to the inside, bully himself into the lead at the first corner, that will help him immensely. As you see there, the quarter-mile oval on the interior of this half-mile banked circuit. That's been active this weekend as well. Quite a unique situation where we're using 2 different ovals on the same weekend for some flat track racing, as well as NASCAR Whelen Euro Series action on the high banks. You see there the Ford Mustang pace car, but it's parked over the choose cone. We do have the choose format, as is the case in the NASCAR Series in the United States. Martin Dubeck having a chat with Andre.
So it's just minutes until the race, 70 laps. You're on the first place in pole position on the outside line. How do you feel?
It was amazing. Start from pole position here, amazing, nice feeling. Now let's see what happened during the start, and it will be a long race, 70 laps. So it was really quick during the quali, but I did a mistake in the last corner, so I think that it should be faster, maybe 1 or 2 tenths. So we'll see what happened now. It will be a long race, so I think that everybody wants some points. So let's see what happened, and we will see.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck. I think we go now to national anthems just in a few minutes.
anthems in a few minutes. Okay, we'll try and make sure we duck out when it's time for the anthems. As you can see, the grid is now largely emptied of all but essential personnel and drivers. Apologies for the miscue regarding the anthems. I thought we had a bit more time, but there we had the US and the Dutch national anthems back to back. First time we've had the Dutch national anthem sung at a EuroNASCAR event for a little while. Of course, Formula One has more than picked up the mantle in regard to Dutch national anthem airplay in the last couple of years. The hype is building here for the EuroNASCAR 2 race. 70 laps on the oval. I do understand that in the event of any safety cars, that lap counter will go up, as it does at most of our road course events as well. There is still a time limit on this race. There's also the potential for a green and white checkered at the discretion of the stewards. Going to be an exciting adventure here for quite a lot of our drivers who are either new to the ovals or returning to the ovals for the first time in a long time. For the likes of Jill Linster and Ryan Vargas, those two drivers have raced on an oval a lot more recently. Of course, Vargas has raced Xfinity Series this year, and Jill Linster had a go at Daytona, a far different oval, Super Speedway versus this short oval. He did that in the ARCA series. And it all counts a little bit. That confidence in knowing how to race wheel to wheel on an oval is certainly not to be understated. It's a critical component of a driver's game on this weekend. Certainly not everybody will have it. Those at the front surely do. Of course, it's only a 20-second lap. We had 4 cars under the 20-second barrier into the 19s during the qualifying session, and a fairly big spread from first to last, a couple of seconds, which does mean lap traffic is almost certainly going to be a major factor here. The bottom 5 drivers and the top 5 drivers will converge on a couple of occasions. And what effect will that have on proceedings over the course of the race distance? There is the number 5 car. Claudio Remeggio Capelli getting excited, I'm sure, to make a go on the ovals. Linster psyching himself up now, making final discussions with his crew at Hendricks Motorsport. The Hendricks brothers very familiar with the Venray Oval. There's Ryan Vargas. Again, as we said, first time making a double outing in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series across both EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro. Debuted in EuroNASCAR Pro at Oschersleben in September last year. Full season campaign, of course, in EuroNASCAR Pro this year. But this is his debut in EuroNASCAR 2, and he debuts from the inside of row number 2. Patrick Schauber has been the surprise package to Andre, and in the eyes of quite a few others as well. On his first appearance at an oval, Patrick Schauber has looked strong. He's on the inside there of row 3. He will be one to watch, of course. RDV competition with one of the stronger lineups, one of the younger lineups as well, between Schauber and Paul Giffreau in the Pro car. Or in the Pro seat, I should say. It is the same car, of course. We're less than 3 minutes away from getting these engines fired. Our Grand Marshal today will be Harry Masson, the owner of the Raceway Venray, the man who has really poured his whole soul into this place over the years. It's gone through a relocation. It was initially a motocross circuit, then it was a quarter-mile oval, became a half-mile oval, along with the change of locale. Still, of course, a quarter-mile in the interior. The circuit has been through a good number of iterations, and Mr. Masson has been a critical part of cultivating the popularity of oval racing in the Netherlands. He will be our Grand Marshal. He will give the most famous words in motorsport. Of course, there's always the question mark. How much gusto are we going to get out of 10? Mamba Smith, I think, is currently the benchmark setter on that front, but we'll have to wait and see whether we can get close with Harry Masson. 20 cars will take the start. 70 laps will be the race distance. I believe we'll get 5 formation laps, if I remember correctly. So there will be a few laps to get everyone's tyres up to temperature, try and get some heat into the brakes. They tap the brakes into turn 1 and turn 3. It will be an exercise for everybody. For this one, we've heard about those potential neck issues, biting some more than others as well. This is a voyage, perhaps not into the unknown, but a voyage into the broadly unfamiliar. As Ryan Vargas said, these EuroNASCAR machines, while they are stock cars and their kind of core components are very much familiar to oval racing, these have been built, optimized and refined for road courses. And so now you've got a car with oval routes built for road courses on an oval, and that does create some challenges. Ryan says these things race well on oval, though. We've seen it previously, some very exciting racing here at Venray. Proof is in the pudding, though, and the countdown to command is ticking down. Let's hear the most famous words in motorsport. Oh, he went early. Apologies for talking over him. I thought we had a few seconds. We did strictly have a few seconds, but that was Harry Masson giving the commands. Now the cars fire into life. And these cars will thunder away on the formation laps. Martin Dubeck was impressive and very fast When it came to qualifying, his time was a 19.689. Everybody else was a 19.9 or slower. So at least on one lap pace, Dubek looked to have the edge. However, consistency around here is going to be the definitive talking point. How you use your tyres will be very important. Cars are rolling. Welcome back to Venray. It is Martin Dubek and Claudio Remeggio Capelli on the front row of the grid. Then it's Jill Lindster alongside Ryan Vargas for 3F Racing, their best starting grid ever in EuroNASCAR. Victor Neumann and Patrick Schauber on row number 3. Jack Davidson on row 4 alongside Thomas Grasonis. Mikael Blaker-Molen and Thomas Dombrowski are next. Then it is Miguel Gomez and Thomas Toffel. Melvin de Groot just 13th on the grid this time, a little bit further back than we would normally expect him to be as he gets to grips with the oval. Nick Strickler in 14th place, Florian Richard in 15th place, Julian Reberg in 16th, Federico Monti is 17th, Simone Giussani in 18th place. Then it's Dominic Schack and Ariana Casoli rounding out the 20 that will take the start for this EuroNASCAR 2 race. All eyes on this. The EuroNASCAR Pro drivers that aren't in this race will be keeping an eye, trying to figure out what to expect from this. A lot of them will have raced here previously, of course, when we were here in 2019. We do have a fairly good rate of retention among our Pro Class front runners, but they will nonetheless be studying, especially the likes of Liam Hazemans, who hasn't raced EuroNASCAR here before but has done some late model stuff, which will help him. But yes, it is a voyage into some unfamiliar territory, and any data point you can get if you're a EuroNASCAR Pro driver will be useful. That's why Vargas is out in EuroNASCAR 2 as well. He wants to get some more information about how this circuit races, and first hand, of course, is the best way to do it. This circuit then half a mile in length, 25-degree banking in the fast lane. It's progressive banking as well, which means that it is a very shallow grade of banking on the far inside line. You won't see that many people thriving on the inside line. Certainly below that second dotted white line, there really is no pace to be had. If you're beneath that second white line, it's not going to work out for you. This is all about trying to go up top, so say the locals, and we'll have to see whether that proves to be the case on this occasion. In the next few moments, once he's in position, we will welcome Andre Biegold into the commentary box as well, of course. Andre has pretty much grown up here on this oval. He'll give us some valuable insights as the race goes on. A very, very interesting front row of the grid. Yes, the outside is the place to be. That seems to be the consensus. However, Claudio Remeggio Capelli could well get the elbows out, make sure he gets the lead from the inside of that front row. Will he make a lunge to the inside and to the lead as we go racing? The green flag waves. We are back at Venray. We are racing in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series on an oval for the first time in 5 years. And look at that, Martin Dubek has 3 car lengths already. Lindster on the high line around the outside for second place. Capelli stays low, has no choice but to stay low, of course, in this scenario. But he's made it work and he's got himself clear into second place. Ryan Vargas also taking the inside there. He's alongside Victor Neumann as they fight for 4th place, but Neumann getting a better run out of 2 there. He moves himself up to 4th place in the early going. Capelli made the inside work for him there in the early stages of this race. 2 laps in the books. We're into lap 3 of 70. If this stays green, it's going to go by very quickly, but that does feel like quite an if, especially when we go into the lap traffic. Single file at the front for the time being. Quite surprised that that worked out from Capelli, though, on the low line. A complete lap 3 of the race, Andre, and Dubek had an absolutely sensational start. That couldn't have gone any better for him. So then, we'll hear from Andre, hopefully. There you are now. We got you now, Andre.
I'm here right now. Do you hear me?
Yep, go.
Perfect. Okay. So, some technical issues, but we solved them. So, Martin Dubek, he went off with a rocket launch. He cleared Capelli, and Linster did an amazing job to get third place, but Victor Neumann is putting a lot of pressure on Jill Linster at the moment. And Ryan Vargas, he struggled on the inside line. He went up now to the outside lane, and he has to settle into 5th position right now. Crazon is in a 6th position. It was a really good start by Dubek, and now we're into single file mode at the moment in this 70-lap EuroNASCAR 2 race. And what you said before is going to be very, very critical when it comes to lap traffic. There we're going to have opportunities because the lap traffic guys, the guys who get overlapped, they need to go somewhere, and sometimes you block somebody without having the intention. So traffic will be a big, big key point in this race.
Certainly will, and we're not going to be too far away from the traffic before long. Already, some of the cars a little over half a lap behind Martin Dubek. Dubek already homing in, and in fact has already put a lap, I think. No, that was Capelli in second place. Capelli 1.2 seconds off our leader last time by, and he's in fact shrunk that gap down to 0.9. So Capelli a little bit quicker on that previous lap. We'll see if that's a trend or whether that was a one-off. One car into the pit lane. Miguel Gomez, that's hugely unfortunate for him. He was talking about how much he loves oval racing, and not even 10% distance into the race, it has come to an end for him. Lap 10 of 70 already, as you see a great overhead shot here of the Venray circuit. Linster in 3rd place, a big queue forming up behind him. Neumann, Vargas, Chrysonis, Davidson, Schauber, all in the queue there. Davidson taking a slightly lower exit out of 2 than some of the others. We saw a few cars looking quite wild, quite loose through the quali. I think Thomas Tuffel in particular looked like he had quite a loose car. He is 12th place where he qualified at this juncture. Looks like Vargas is coming under a little bit of threat here from Thomas Chrysonis. Chrysonis again running well. It's starting to feel more and more familiar to see him in that top 5 region. 6th place at the moment. Linster, though, is slowing. Linster is slowing. He's dropped behind Davidson. What's happened there to Jill Linster as Chrysonis goes low, trying to find his way past Ryan Vargas. Jill Linster has dropped to 7th. He is going on to the apron, and his race looks like it might be over. A disaster for the driver who sits 2nd in the standings.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. He had a really good pace, and out of the sudden he starts to slow down, and now he's heading into the pit. So technical issues, I guess, for Jill Linster. We have to find out after the race what happened there, but that's a big, big blast for his title hopes, because Martin Dubek is still leading the race, but we see Capelli closing in. The 7 car not that far away anymore. Capelli gains more and more pace here during this race, and who also looks quite racy is Victor Neumann. He's now in 3rd place, and he's on his way, if everything stays as it is right now, onto his first podium position in his EuroNASCAR career. So oval racing is shaking everything a little bit up. Dominic Schack get lapped right now, the 99 car by Promotion, the GT8 from Germany. Not that used to oval racing, and that's why he's in the threat of being lapped, and he already lost 1 lap. So Dubek versus Capelli, I think this is not over. And also Neumann, Vargas and Chrysonis, especially also with Davidson. It's a really nice group battling for 3rd place.
Great look there at what the lap traffic can do. It was 0.4 of a second a lap ago. That time across the stripe, it was 1.1 seconds between Dubek and Capelli. The lap traffic plays its part in a big way here on the Venray Oval. Martin Dubek on the 17th completed lap of the race, on to lap 18 at the moment. He is in a really good position. We knew he was going to be hard to beat from pole. Quite surprised that Capelli is still there in second place. Many of us expected potentially Jill Lindster to power around the outside in the first couple of laps of the race, but he is now out of the race. Victor Neumann in his best ever position that he's running in at the moment in third position, but he's got Ryan Vargas a matter of a couple of tenths behind him. It's still a really intense queue there for third place. Here they come. We see there Neumann, then Vargas, then Crisones in fifth place, Davidson in sixth, and Lindster is running again. He's a couple of laps down. In fact, he's 6 laps down, but Lindster is running again. So whatever issue was there for Lindster is a temporary issue at the very least, which is good news for him in terms of scoring points, but bad news in the sense that any hopes for this race are gone.
Yeah, definitely. But still, he can just hope that something happens and he can gain some positions by passing crashed or wrecked drivers. And it's still a long race to go here at Raceway Venray. But it's really tough for Jill Lindster, especially because he's one of those oval specialists we have in the EuroNASCAR paddock. Yeah, the race fans, they really like what they see here at this speedway in the Netherlands. Capelli and Dubek at the moment separate by 1 second, and Neumann is doing a really good job keeping Ryan Vargas here at bay. And then we have Thomas Crisones rounding out the top 5 ahead of Davidson and Schober, who's doing a really good job. And then we have the 2 Blekemolen cars, Michael Blekemolen and Melvin de Groot in 8th and 9th ahead of Thomas Dombrowski. So it's a really interesting race. Here we have Julian Rehberg, who's going to be lapped by Martin Dubek on the outside. So Martin Dubek is now carving his way through the traffic, through the lapped cars, and Claudio Capelli is trying to take an advantage. Oh, we were 3 wide for a split second there.
3 wide momentarily, then we're going to see more and more of that kind of pack racing forced by the lap traffic situation as this race goes on. Vargas still welded to the rear of Neumann, we saw there, as well as they approach the start-finish line. Claudio Remeggio Capelli coming across 2 drivers fighting, of course, Richard and Rehberg having a scrap, and oh goodness me, I thought Capelli got tagged by Rehberg there momentarily. We just about avoided it, but it was a close run thing there momentarily. Speaking of Florian Richard and Julian Rehberg, they are of course both running in Rookie Trophy, as is Victor Neumann, 3rd overall. He is leading the Rookie Trophy at the moment. In fact, the next best driver in the Rookie Trophy that I can see is Florian Richard in 13th, so Neumann really taking to it like a duck takes to water at the moment. There's Schober just being pursued by Jill Lindster, who is of course several laps down at this juncture. Your top 10 as it stands: Martin Dubek leading the way on lap 27 that's just been completed, so he's currently on lap 28 of the race. Claudio Remeggio Capelli 1.3 seconds back, then it's Neumann in 3rd, Vargas in 4th, Crisones in 5th, Davidson and Schober 6th and 7th, then it's Melvin de Groot, Michael Blekemolen and Thomas Dombrowski rounding out the top 10, but there has actually just been a swap between the 2 Blekemolen cars. Michael Blekemolen going past Melvin de Groot. Michael, the 74-year-old racer, really seems to be gelling with this. There you go, side-by-side racing going on at the moment between the 2 Team Blekemolen cars. Melvin's back through, but he's on the inside. Blekemolen will get more speed out of the corner on the high line, but then Melvin will once again slightly shorten the corner on the inside of 3 and 4, but it looks like Blekemolen has the whole car by. Yes, he does. Some very exciting racing here between the 2 Team Blekemolen cars, and of course the 3rd Team Blekemolen entry, the number 66, is right there with them as well, as is Thomas de Velde from Race Art Technology.
Yeah, we always forget a little bit about Thomas Dombrowski being part of Team Blekemolen because he has a different livery than the 69 and the 72. I was some kind of expecting what we see right now. We have so different experience levels in EuroNASCAR 2 with Martin Dubek having a lot of experience on ovals, Capelli an experienced racing driver in general. Neumann, oval experience. Cazones, Vargas, of course, with oval experience. And I was expecting that the field is splitting a little bit. I think it's going to be a different picture tomorrow in EuroNASCAR Pro. We talked about in qualifying that the cars or the drivers are... Oh, we have almost the spin. Nick Strickler saves it. Wow. What I wanted to say is that in qualifying we said that they are split by just 1 second, but 1 second on a short track like this means that you're going to be lapped within 20 laps. So 1 second off on an oval, it's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of the point I was trying to make there when I was giving that statistic. It is, of course, a much different proposition than it would be on a 90-second road course circuit. Look at this. Neumann has closed in now on Capelli. It's no longer a matter of can Capelli catch Martin Dubek at the moment. It's a matter of will Neumann find a way past Capelli. He's right there on the back of the number 5. He seems to be thriving, picking his way through the traffic. And then Ryan Vargas and Thomas Crasonis are not far behind either. In fact, Vargas is right there with them too. So it's a 3-car battle for second place at the moment between 3 teams. Good thing to bring up as well, of course, is the fact that we do have 4 teams in the top 4. Hendricks from Alex Caffey Academy, Marco Stipp Motorsport, then 3F, and then the second of the Marco Stipp cars, Thomas Crasonis, running in 5th position. So once again, various teams finding ways to thrive here in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Dombrowski in 11th place, going a lap down on this battle for second. So the top 10 are now being lapped because Tefel has already gone a lap down to Dubek, which again shows the difference between those with oval experience and those who don't. As now to the inside line goes Neumann. He's trying to find his way by Capelli, but Capelli again with that outside line, with that traction, and Neumann almost squeezed Ryan Vargas up into the wall there as well. Somehow we're already at half distance in this race. It has flown by thus far. Neumann may again look to go low at 3 and 4, but he's not close enough to the rear quarter panel of Claudio Remeggio Capelli. His next opportunity comes in the form of Thomas Tefel, lurking just ahead of Claudio Remeggio Capelli, and Capelli is going to be really hoping that this falls in his favour as they try and negotiate the 34.
It's a really, really good oval race what we see right now, with a nice battle for second place with Capelli, Neumann and Vargas. And you already said something interesting, that the lap is so short. You know that I have to leave you then, I think 15 laps or 20 laps before the end of the race, because I have quite a way to go to victory lane. So I'm going to leave you quite soon. Oh, this is going to be
you.
Yeah. But look at this. Neumann is trying it on the inside. He looks really, really racy.
He does, trying to take the inside line at 3 and 4, now dives in at turn 1 as well, carries so much more speed on corner entry, but here comes Capelli with the corner exit. He may even get a little bit of a bump and a tap here from Ryan Vargas as well, who is in the fast lane. Neumann is now in the situation where if he falls behind Capelli, he may also fall behind Vargas. Capelli and Vargas both get a good run out of 4. Neumann on the inside line, not able to carry quite the same momentum on the lesser degreed banking, the gradual banking, progressive banking, slightly hindering Neumann, as is the number 27 of Simone Giussani. Vargas and Neumann side by side for third place here. Vargas runs it right up to the wall. He's got a nose ahead for third position, and Neumann has to yield. Ryan Vargas is running in a podium position within a EuroNASCAR race for the first time.
This is the problem. If you go to the inside line to attack and you don't get the right timing to move back up into the upper lane, you just get swallowed, like we saw here with Ryan Vargas passing Victor Neumann. This is typically racing we see at Raceway Venray. This is why you have to be clever while doing the attack. You cannot just take a look to the front. You also have to have the rear in mind, that there's somebody may taking advantage that you are squeezed onto the inner line, into the inside line.
Very exciting stuff going on here. Now Capelli is under a lot of pressure from Ryan Vargas. Vargas, who of course has plenty of experience on ovals in the local divisions of stock car racing in the US, then in the National Series as well, including Xfinity and the trucks. We saw there a 5-second penalty for the number 72, Mikael Bleekemolen. That will affect his race potentially. He's still fighting with Melvin de Groot for 8th position at the moment, and Bleekemolen may drop out of the top 10 with that, depending on if we go green to the flag. You will have to run in the next 5 laps or so, Andre, but
Yes.
this is the first EuroNASCAR race back on your turf in 5 years, so call a couple of laps for us before you do your run.
All right, thank you so much, Adam. It's an amazing race. Martin Dubek is dominating at the moment, but the second place, still a tight battle between Capelli, Vargas and Neumann. And we saw earlier that you cannot leave the outer lane, the outside lane too early, or you have to stick on the inside lane and really make it happen. Ryan Vargas is very clever at the moment. He's not trying to force it. He's not trying to use everything he can to take the second position. At the moment, he's just clever, staying behind Capelli, putting a lot of pressure on him and wait for a mistake, because if he goes to the inside line too early, he may be re-overtaken by Victor Neumann. So this is a really amazing battle that I will now see and experience in real life, because I will now head down towards the victory lane and I will stay at the gate at the start-finish straight to enter the track when they are there. Is this a bump and run by Ryan Vargas? It's up to you, Adam.
Excellent side by side between Capelli and Vargas. He was right on the rear bumper of Claudio Remeggio Capelli. He's now on the inside. He's going to try and avoid the fate that befell Victor Neumann, and he does so. He gets back up to the high lane in the nick of time to retain that third position, but a statement of intent from Ryan Vargas. Offensive moves on Claudio Remeggio Capelli. It's 2.8 seconds that Martin Dubek has over this battle for second place. So long as this stays green, he should be out of trouble for the race lead. The question mark comes with this battle for second place. The battle for second place, which incidentally at the moment is closing in on the battle for 8th place between the two feuding Bleekemolen cars of Mikael Bleekemolen and Melvin de Groot. So they could be a spanner in the works here. Of course, Bleekemolen also has a 5-second penalty that will be added to the end of his race time, but that is not going to be of his concern at the moment. He's still fighting for that position with his teammate Melvin. They will have to, though, try and make this at least somewhat easy for the drivers behind Melvin. They're being very kind, taking that inside line, allowing Claudio Remeggio Capelli the outside. But will he stay there for multiple laps and lose time to Mikael Bleekemolen? It's a tough call, but it's a call that he has elected to make. Ryan Vargas now following around the outside as well, going through 2 into 3 and 4. The outside lane has absolutely been the way to go. The high groove has been the place. Only if you really are confident in your speed can you go low and try and make that overtake. Vargas looks like he has the speed. He just has to utilize it here in this battle for second position. 3 teams fighting it out, 3 drivers from 3 different countries and 3 very different racing backgrounds are fighting it out. Claudio Remeggio Capelli with a huge history in Legends racing, 5/8 scale racing in his homeland. Ryan Vargas coming from a traditional US stock car racing background. Victor Neumann, who I first discovered racing lightweight sports cars in the United Kingdom, racing under the flag of France, of course. 3 very different drivers, and this is part of why the EuroNASCAR concept is so exciting. You do get drivers crossing the Atlantic looking to make the name for themselves outside of the US NASCAR divisions, but you also get drivers with an interest in American motorsport from Europe making the move into the world of NASCAR. And often we're on their turf, we're on road courses, but here on the oval things are different. Capelli got into the wall coming out of turn 4 a moment ago. The car was unsettled out of 2, and now Vargas is alongside him as they exit turn 4. But once again, Capelli has the high line. He gets to stay ahead for now, but you just get the feeling that Vargas has a little bit more underneath him. The 3F Racing car heavily supported by Team Bleekemolen as well, effectively a Bleekemolen car in collaboration with 3F Racing. This is lap 59 of the race just being completed by Martin Dubek, our race leader. The battle for second place between Capelli, Vargas and Neumann is showing no signs of settling, and every time it looks like Vargas might take second, suddenly a lap later it looks like Neumann might take third. Very exciting stuff. They've managed to drop Thomas Chrysonis as well. Chrysonis, I think, got the bad end of some of the traffic negotiations a few laps ago. He is now in 5th place, albeit clear of Patrick Schauber in P6. Jack Davidson remains in 7th. Then it's De Groot, Blake Molen and Tefel bringing us down to 10th position, although Blake Molen may well drop down to at least 10th place with his penalty. In fact, no, as it stands, Blake Molen will remain in 9th place despite the 5-second penalty that will be added to his race time at the flag. Less than 10 to go here in the first EuroNASCAR Oval race for half a decade. We are back on the high banks of Venray, and we have had a very exciting race thus far. We've stayed green, and for the last 15 laps at least, it's been warfare between Capelli and Vargas. Was there a little bit of a bump and run as Andre left the box a few laps ago? It's possible, certainly. Vargas has looked quite aggressive on the rear of Capelli at times. Again, gets a good run out of 4 there, Vargas. Ooh, and Capelli a little bit loose there as well. That could be a good opportunity for Vargas. If he does that mid-corner when Vargas is low, that could be the opportunity he needs. Lap 64 of the race being completed now. 5 to go for our EuroNASCAR 2 drivers. Martin Dubek, who has been the driver of the season so far, is going to add yet another victory to his tally as it stands, and further prove that he is on the best form he has been since he won the EuroNASCAR 2 title back in 2021. Ryan Vargas on his debut in EuroNASCAR 2 is in 3rd place. He's now giving a little bit of a nudge there to Claudio Remeggio Capelli. He wants P2. An inaugural EuroNASCAR podium would be sweet. 2nd would be sweeter. And I think Capelli just got into the wall ever so slightly there. They're still side by side. Capelli is strong on the exit of turn 2 when he's got the high line, but Vargas leans on him there. A little bit of leaning. Not really anything wrong with that, though. That was great oval racing between the two of them, but here comes Capelli on the exit of 4. He's still there. He's still got a quarter panel. He's still now side by side, and once again the upper groove just pays dividends for Claudio Remeggio Capelli. Nothing that Vargas could do. Really, that was set up at turn 4. By the time they got to the exit of turn 2, Capelli just had too much speed. That outside line is so strong. Dubek has crossed the line to begin lap 69 of the race. It's 2 to go here at Venray. Vargas is running out of time and running out of opportunity. Dubek has crossed the line to start the final lap. He is on course for a win here at the Venray Oval. He will be the first driver to stand aloft in the victory lane on a EuroNASCAR weekend here for 5 years. We're back in Venray and we've had a showstopper. Dubek waves the flag. He takes the win. Capelli takes 2nd place after a hard-fought battle with Ryan Vargas that went to the wire. Victor Neumann in 4th. Chris Sonis takes 5th from Schauber. Then it's Jack Davidson in 7th place. Melvin de Groot, Mikael Bleekemolen and Thomas Dombrowski will round out our top 10. Bleekemolen had enough of a lead over Dombrowski at the end there that he does not lose any positions despite his penalty. And Thomas Tefel, who was running in 10th place, dropped down to 13th at the end there. So not quite sure what caused that. Some dramas throughout that race. We saw Nick Strickler getting loose in a big way. He ended up not finishing. Miguel Gomez we saw withdrawing. And of course Jill Linster slowing and having to visit the pit lane. A big drama for one of our main EuroNASCAR 2 contenders this season. But Martin Dubek has taken yet another win in what is proving to be a magnificent season for the Czech racer. 2022 and 2023 were lean years compared to 2021 for Dubek. '24 is proving to be something very, very special. He has just made a little bit of EuroNASCAR history as well. Has tied the record for the most victories in EuroNASCAR 2. 12 wins, tied with Thomas Ferrando. So Dubek could have a lucky 13 before the end. He's got a lot of stickers over his door already this year, signifying his race wins. Dubek is there at the start line. I wonder, are we going to get a bit of a burnout? I don't think we will, because that engine needs to run tomorrow as well, of course. We have a rabbit on the track. Not a Volkswagen Golf for the American market, a furry animal. Thankfully that didn't come to pass during the race. At least we didn't see it come to pass during the race. I like my racing and my wildlife separate. Martin Dubek has claimed his 5th win of the season, his 12th win in his career. More than half of his total wins before the end of this season will more than likely have occurred in 2024. To make that stat happen, he needs 2 more wins this season, and would you really bet against it? With the form he's on right now, especially given our next EuroNASCAR 2 race is on his home turf in Most. Andre, you're there with him. He looks warm. Let's have a chat.
Oh yes, you already told me. It's so hot, I'm so exhausted, so tired. But you did it! All laps under green and you led them all.
Yeah, nice, amazing. It's fucking hot inside and it was too long a race. But surprise, no safety car, no caution, only green. Was good. Good feeling, but I'm fucking tired now. And I need a rest for tomorrow, because tomorrow will be another race and 100 laps, so I don't know how I will do that, but I will do that.
All right, I will not torture you anymore. You get the winner sticker right now. Just put it on the car. Back to you, Adam.
I'm too English to not apologise for any of the language that you may have heard in that interview, but Martin going through a lot of emotions, including exhaustion, including elation, and he's so exhausted that he hasn't realised he's put that sticker on the wrong way around. But Martin Dubek is a winner once again in EuroNASCAR 2. He had a hell of a run there at the wheel of the number 7. Glorious domination for Martin Dubek, and I have never seen the Venray Winners Parade car before. I've now seen it and I'm very impressed by it. That is an awesome piece of kit. What a unique and wonderful facility this is. A very welcome addition to the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series calendar. A very welcome return to the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series calendar. That red banner is safe on Martin Dubek's car. It's hard to imagine anyone else taking that championship lead. Miguel Gomez, though, with a very disappointing run today.
Yes, and we of course want to know what happened there. You had so high goals and then you slowed down. Can you explain us what happened?
Yeah, it was not my lucky day. First laps were fine, but lap 5 or 6 I started to feel a vibration and then lost third gear and had to finish.
All right, I'm really sorry for you, mate. Do you want to say something again?
No, just it was a privilege to be here and racing oval in Europe in NASCAR. It was amazing. Was hoping for a better result, but still was amazing to participate. Better luck next time, I hope.
Fingers crossed that we see you next time again. Thank you so much, Miguel. Back to you, Adam.
Certainly have to feel for Miguel Gomez. We know how much he loves the oval racing competition. Ryan Vargas is going to be our next chat with Andre in a few seconds. He came third. He had a brilliant battle for second with Claudio Remeggio Capelli. That's his best finish, of course, in EuroNASCAR. Ryan is with Andre now.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Can you come please a little bit further here? It was an amazing battle for second place in the end after Jelinster slowed down out of the sun. We have to figure out what happened there. But you tried with Capelli, but I always saw that you had to have a little bit of gap to Victor Neumann, so you know that you can back to the outer lane, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't worth giving up a podium, right? I mean, I'm not running for points in this division, so I was going to do everything I can to get by him without wrecking him, because you can't do that here, like I told you earlier. But, you know, just absolutely so thankful for Lyrgus Security and Critical Path Security supporting these efforts. Getting a podium over here in EuroNASCAR 2, that's a huge testament to the team. You know, everything that I had to put it on my end, and all the amazing partners like Critical Path, Lyrgus, and Custom Kings, Copilot AI, everybody. It's just been an absolute awesome weekend. Me and Capelli, we gave a big old hug after the race. That was classic racing without getting to overstepping the line.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations. First EuroNASCAR podium, Ryan Vargas. Ice. It's ice. Yeah. That's fine. Michael Bleckermann, can you come to me, please? There's ice inside. I understand. This is a real good thing. All right, Michael, you received a little penalty for blocking the leaders while they're trying to overtake you, but you had a really intense battle with your teammate.
Yeah, it was a big battle, but halfway the race it starts with understeer, and I was fighting to keep the car not on the wall. But yeah, it was nice, but I let him go, but it was impossible for me.
But did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was really great, and I'm happy for Ryan that he finished third. Yeah. We need that as team.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, okay. See you later. Back to you, Adam.
Oldest ride, longest line sometimes with Mikael Bleekemolen, a very popular man here in the Netherlands. And he has been a brilliant example of the adaptability of a racing driver. Bleekemolen likes these ovals, had arguably his best run of the season there, and some fabulous fighting with Melvin de Groot as well. See the cars being organised. Speaking of Melvin, yeah, you really are small when you're next to him, Andre.
That's why I'm referring to you as the Dutch giant. You are a giant for me. Okay,
yeah, I'm standing taller now.
Yeah, because of the banking, for sure. Yeah, I'm not that small, right? It was an intense battle with your teammate, Michael Bleekemolen.
Yeah, it was unbelievably difficult to overtake him. He was fighting till the end, and overtaking in the inside is almost impossible. And then at a certain moment, I think Dubek passed him, and I saw an opportunity to go on the outside, and then I thought, now I've got you. And once I passed him, then I was able to catch up. But man, it was a difficult race. It was hot. My neck muscles, my arm muscles, it's heavy.
What about the atmosphere in front of so many people here in your at your home race? You must be feeling really great.
Yeah, and they all come from me. Everyone you see here is no. It's of course always nice. I must say, all the races there come a lot of people. There's a lot of people coming, but especially in Holland, it makes it nice that the whole team Bleekemolen is represented well, and happy to be here.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I try to grab the next one. Claudio, can you come to me, please? What a defending race, attacking as well, everything. You must be very happy.
I'm very happy. I spoke with Vargas before. He's a very kind guy, very correct. So the race like this are wonderful. So second and third was not important, better second. But with a race like this, I had fun. He has fun. Everyone had fun. So very happy.
All right, thank you, well. I already spoke Dutch to you. Grazie mille, of course. Back to you, Adam.
Danke.
Sehr gerne.
Gosh, it's all getting very multilingual over there. Boom, boom, boom. Dutch giant. Good result for Melvin de Groot in that race for sure. Claudio Remeggio Capelli, of course, will have won the Legend Trophy with that second position overall. And Rookie Trophy should go to Victor Neumann, depending on whether or not Ryan Vargas counts for Rookie Trophy points. Not quite sure about that one, but either way, a very, very exciting motor race across the board. And Ariana Casoli is with Andre.
So what did you do in this race?
I finished.
And you?
The checkered flag. I'm okay. It's really tough because if you let pass the first one, you dirt the tire and it's gonna be a little bit slippery for a moment. So it was hard, but I'm so happy to have finished it. It was a strong challenge for me and I did it.
Did you expect that it's going to be all green flag, no cautions?
Honestly, no.
Me neither.
But it was a really nice race. I think I did my best not to be in the middle. I did my best to do what I can do, but it was really cool.
All right, grazie mille. Thank you so much. Congratulations. I tried to get the next one. Victor Neumann, can you just a quick second? Here you are. Here I am. It was a tough battle for a podium, right?
Yeah, fought for a P2, but back markers blocked a bit. Mate, I'm so happy. I'm not like it's such a good result. P1 in the rookie, P4 overall, mega. Fighting Vargas, Xfinity drivers, proper giving him a run for his money. It was an unbelievable race. I loved every second of it. When I came across the other rookies, I was like, oh my god, we're lapping them. 77 trying to block me. I was like, okay, mate, if you want to go in the wall, you go in the wall. But it was absolutely brilliant race. I'm exhausted, dude, but yeah.
For tomorrow, just one thing. You know that this is my living room. I saw thousands of races here in the past. When you went down to attack, did you miss a little bit the right time to maybe go up again and block that line? Because when you were stuck on the inside lane, you had no chance on defending on the outside. Is this something you take for tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I know. I wanted to go back up when I was fighting with Capelli, but I think Vargas was already too close. I don't know. I need to watch the footage really, but I think he was already quarter when I wanted to go back up. Honestly, mate, like, yeah, if we can just replicate a race like that in the Pro, I'll be the happiest man on earth. I wanted to spray champagne. It's a bit of a shame, but we take the P4 and we'll get the champagne next time. It's fine.
But still, you're on the rookie trophy podium, so you get some champagne, right?
Not podium. It's a win. It's a rookie win.
Win. Sorry, mate.
That's all right. Thank you anyway. Brilliant. It was a beautiful race. Yeah.
All right. Congratulations. Merci beaucoup.
So much.
Thank you. Back to you, Adam.
That was a bit of a moment, realising that Neumann was already lapping the rest of Rookie Trophy at about half distance in the race, and had a very good run in the 47 Marco Stipp Motorsport car, but no one had a better run today than Martin Dubek. He had 3 or 4 car lengths before they even came out of, or even approached turn 3. He nailed his start, took that outside line advantage with gusto, and built from there. Meanwhile, that's Lauren Richard with you.
It is, right? At Brands Hatch, I asked you something. You said first time at Brands Hatch. I think this is also your first time on an oval. How was it?
Yes, first time also the 2 events. It's very funny for me. It's the race for the championship. It's amazing. The start, the race is amazing. Yes.
Are you exhausted? Tired?
Yes. Yes. It's a sport. It's sport. But thanks to Speedhouse and the organization is very good.
All right, thank you, sir. Merci beaucoup. Athlete sweat, kiki, krr krr. This is Daniel Ricciardo. Back to you, Adam.
No idea what any of that meant at the end, to be honest, Andre, but sure. Yes, that was a really exciting race, and the athletes definitely have sweated it out today. That was a very grueling race. It's not a cool weekend by any circumstances anywhere in Europe this weekend. Really anywhere, point blank. Touching over 30 degrees in quite a lot of parts of the world at the moment. And for these drivers, the new experience of having to use just one side of your neck muscles almost constantly being clawed away at you. It's all very new, and oh my god, he's found an even taller driver. Andre, Nick Strickler.
Yes, I have a trick. I just go up the banking a little bit, and maybe now, okay, I come back here. Nick Strickler, another American racing an oval race in Europe. How do you feel?
It was fun till it wasn't. Brushed the wall a little bit early in the race, and then for some reason our clutch went out. So don't know when, probably about halfway through, like car started free revving, had no power, and then the exhaust also knocked out, couldn't hear my spotter at all. So unfortunate circumstances. I still had fun, but definitely could have done a little better today, and hopefully we will tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. I think we are ready for the podium, so we have to go there right now.
Let's do it.
Then the podiums will be ongoing in a matter of seconds, and it will be a celebration, of course, for Hendricks Motorsports, who you see there down by their number 7 car. Oh, look at the lovely couple. Hello, Gianluca. Hello, Andre. One is bald by choice, the other one is covering up the fact that he's bald by necessity. Two very good guys, absolutely the backbone, along with Razor and our photographers, as the real backbone of the media operation here at EuroNASCAR. It's great to see them enjoying the unique atmosphere here of being on the start-finish line, getting ready for the podium. They're having a great time. We're all having a great time here at Venray this weekend. And of course, arguably the best is yet to come. How are the EuroNASCAR Pro drivers going to adapt to racing on the high banks? That's going to be a big question, and I wouldn't want to wager an answer right now. Certainly, I think the EuroNASCAR Pro drivers are very relieved to be in civvies right now. I saw Luca Lasser in streetwear. He'll be in the race suit tomorrow, of course. Here come the podiums. The local announcer hyping up our crowd. Of course, it will be the overall podium first, and then the numerous class podiums. I believe we are now welcoming drivers up there, by the sounds of it. Perhaps not, but we are getting close to our podiums, and sure enough, yes, I thought I heard Ryan's name. Say his name and he appears. Ryan Vargas has appeared on the podium. Claudio Rumeggio Capelli to the second step. Great battle between Vargas and Capelli during that one. And Martin Dubek is going to be our top step, of course. The Czech driver continues to hold quite a strong grasp over this EuroNASCAR 2 season. Gil Linster, so far his closest competition, finishing 18th in this one. That's a big story. We are getting the anthem. I don't hear it at the moment, but So the Czech national anthem plays out for Martin Dubek. Ryan Vargas to the third step of the podium, his first ever EuroNASCAR podium. I think he just said, "Oh, I get flowers." Yes, one unique feature for this weekend. Martin Dubek holds his trophy aloft. I'm sure that once he rehydrates and gets the opportunity to re-watch the race, he will be very happy with his efforts. He gets the wreath, he gets the flowers, he gets the trophy. All that's missing is a bottle of the bubbly. Just a little bit of the bubbly, okay guys? I'm going to race again tomorrow. At least two of you do. Ryan is really struggling with the cork. So is Martin. Claudio is an experienced man when it comes to the course. And Martin exacting a little bit of revenge there on Claudio Remeggio Capelli. Ryan needs to rehydrate. I think this is the most welcome champagne that these boys have had in quite some time in the heat this weekend. The thing with European heat versus American heat, the humidity is so much worse. It makes 20 feel like 35, and if we're getting on for 30, it starts to feel like we're deep in the heart of Texas. Ooh la la. Claudio will be a very happy man. I think he was rather exhilarated by that fight with Ryan Vargas. Next up will be our Legend Trophy podium for the over 40 drivers. I think Claudio Remeggio Capelli has just realised he's got another ceremony to attend. It'll be Mikael Bleekemolen on the third step of the podium. There he is. Great effort from Mikael, I must say. Second step of the Legend Trophy, of course, Melvin de Groot, who had a really good effort, really good battle as well, side-by-side racing between the team Bleekemolen cars. Almost looked like he was making that low line work for a while. But here comes your Legend Trophy winner, runner-up, Claudio Remeggio Capelli. Trophies being presented by Mr. Masson himself. Everyone's been working hard to return the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series to what you would say is really its rightful place on the ovals. Even though these cars are, of course, designed with the nature of Europe, the limited number of ovals in mind. It's a NASCAR series at the end of the day, and it feels so good to see them back on the oval. The Legend Trophy drivers pose for the pictures. Next up, it will be the Rookie Trophy drivers for those in their first full season. Claudio Remeggio Capelli, that number 5 car isn't on the EuroNASCAR Pro entry list. I wouldn't mind betting, based on that effort and based on that performance, that Claudio might try and wheel a last-minute entry for EuroNASCAR Pro, because he had a lot of fun in that race. That much was plain to see. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's probable. But I wouldn't be shocked if we gain an additional car in quali tomorrow afternoon. Here come your rookie trophy runners. Florian Richard on the third step. Julien Reberg on the second step. But the man who really thrived on his first appearance racing an oval in EuroNASCAR, Victor Neumann to the top. For Marco Stitt Motorsport came in with that lucrative sponsor, AIX, which of course they seem to be on just about every motorsport diaspora at the moment. With the sponsor, along with Marco Stitt Motorsport, Victor Neumann is really starting to ramp up those results. Of course, he'll be racing tomorrow as well. And we'll see how he performs up against the big guns. Next up, we will have our Lady Trophy presentation. Ariana Casoli makes her way onto the podium. She seemed very happy with her run on the oval today. As we conclude our podium ceremony, let's take one last look at that race. Some of the highlights from our first EuroNASCAR race on the banks of Venray in 5 years. EuroNASCAR 2 with a 70-lap showstopper. As the green flag got underway, Claudio Remeggio Capelli had the inside line, but Martin Dubeck absolutely aced it around the outside. He had 3 or 4 car lengths before they even got to turn 3. Vargas under pressure early doors from Thomas Chrysonis as Jill Linster had issues. He would ultimately rejoin the race. He was 6 laps down and out of contention. The Team Blake-Molen cars, the 72, the 69 and the 66, fighting on the fringes of the top 10. Ryan Vargas running out of room at one point there in battle with Victor Neumann. Neumann on the offensive against Claudio Remeggio Capelli, but he was stuck on the low line. And unfortunately, that gave the opportunity to Ryan Vargas. Vargas in the tow of Claudio Remeggio Capelli made his way up to third place there. A good illustration of how making a move to the inside can often cost you. Vargas briefly had his nose ahead for second place, was fighting it out with Claudio Remeggio Capelli, but again, that outside line just too valuable, especially on corner exit. Vargas did well to hold on to third place and not allow Neumann past him into third position, but third would ultimately be the best he could get despite some moments there, a little unsettled moment from Capelli as he found the outside wall at turn 2. Vargas was trying, but he did not want to throw away a podium on his EuroNASCAR 2 debut. Martin Dubeck makes it 5 in the Netherlands. 5 wins so far this year for the man who is taking a healthy lead in the EuroNASCAR 2 Championship. Martin Dubeck is a very happy man. He's also a bit of an exhausted man. He needs some R&R now because he's got 100 laps ahead of him in the EuroNASCAR Pro tomorrow, as a number of our drivers do. If you enjoyed that EuroNASCAR 2 race as much as I did, make sure you're here for EuroNASCAR Pro, where the best drivers from the race you just saw will take on the elites of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series.